Gosh fucking darn it.
That was last week's movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So how many of you rewatched it? I know
I
you
watched
did.
it.
I did.
I did not rewatch it yet.
I thought about it.
I'm going to get the Blu-ray.
Oh, are you?
Yep.
Is there a 3D Blu-ray?
No.
No. It's too low budget.
But you could probably make it blurry and then cross your eyes and probably make your own 3D.
I actually tried to. I forget what I was doing. I think I was watching football or something, and I turned 3D on the TV.
Oh God!
Yeah.
It does
That's
not
a horrible
like that.
idea.
It does not like that at
No,
all.
I guess it does not.
Do you own Torque on Blu-ray?
I think I do, yeah.
I might have to borrow Torque on
Okay.
Blu-ray.
So are we informing the masses of our online?
Oh, Jesus.
Are we online?
We are.
Are we online?
Online.
Online.
BMFcast242 Wanted Dead or Alive live stream.
Live stream.
Live stream.
We're an event.
We are an
This
event.
event is happening. We are live.
Have they changed the comments
No.
yet, or is it still
I
trash?
don't know. I just clicked on it.
Yeah,
Still
what is
trash.
it this time?
What I was-
What? Hi?
Hey,
144p. Yeah, I'm gonna make this shit look like.
Oh, we can add a moderator.
Ooh, I want to be a moderator.
No.
Oh,
Let me moderate.
No, then
I'll
that
moderate.
person would have to sit there and watch every question that comes through.
Yeah.
oh
And then
yeah.
approve it.
Oh,
to-
that would be terrible.
Yeah,
Yep.
the
Yeah,
chat
don't do
is-
that.
No.
It's really for
We could just
stuff where
delete
you
it
have a
afterwards.
billion people.
Yeah. Well, it's just, like,
We're not like that.
we can delete it later.
It's the Wild West in here. Man, look how blurry.
I would moderate them kindly. Or not.
Oh no.
All the puns get through. None of the good comments.
Nope.
No.
Beep.
What?
Well, YouTube does know me, at least. There's
Are you
that.
Chuck No Quarters?
No. I'm just
Or are
saying,
you
like,
Chuck
my
BMFcast?
recommended videos sometimes. It's
Oh.
like, oh, you know me.
Aw. You know me. It's like you know me.
Join us.
It's pretty good. I like that.
Join us.
Uh-huh.
Just post a link and say, join us.
Join us.
That's it? That's all?
Just say
That's it? That's all?
we're going to
Just
recap all the
decoration.
hot Apple news of the day
Join us.
and just give them the link. And
Oh,
then we'll get a
gee.
bunch of tech people just like, what the fuck?
Yes,
Re-
because we
re-
like
what?
downvotes.
Yeah. We're going to recap all the hot Apple news of the day
And Destiny.
with a touch of Destiny.
Yeah.
Join us.
You're destined to join us.
Yeah, Touch of Destiny is my Beyonce cover band.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Playing the part of the internet will be Mackie.
Meh.
So, are we making a podcast?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I'm just reading Android people are like, oh man, my phone's done cool stuff since 2012. It's the best.
Android people sound weird.
I know. They are.
It's because they're robots.
Hey, man.
I'm playing Ingress right now.
Hey, my man. My phone's
English
got
is out
cool
for
things.
iOS, by the way.
I
Since
captured a point.
2012.
Yeah.
You can't make fun of the space noise thing. It's on Apple now, too. So
Yeah.
it's no longer a specifically...
Yeah, but it's still
so it's
feeding
not
the
just the realm
Google.
of people who will chase someone off a point with a shotgun,
Right.
Yeah, now it's
in order
more
to
crazy
maintain
people.
their
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Now they'll try to feed them tofu and I don't know.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know.
Hippie crap.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever Apple people do. I
Let's
don't
all
know.
knit some socks.
Feed them
Yeah.
propaganda.
Giant scarves.
Yeah.
Ooh, giant scarves.
That fucking guy.
But they're all just like, yeah, man, I've had a
fucking guy.
phone that's like 3 miles wide for years now. Fuck you.
Yeah. I've been using my phone to pay for things at 3 locations in the United States for 2 years
Oh, did they
now.
add?
Yeah.
Did they add NFC?
Yeah. And it's in the watch.
But isn't that kind of like the internet equivalent of being like, oh, Cinema Snob already reviewed this, check it out.
Kind of.
Might be.
Yeah.
But
It might be.
I don't know why.
No, you
Phone
got
fanboyism, I will never
you
understand.
have to choose a side, man.
There could be only one.
You know what I like about my phone? It works.
Yeah, it does what I need it to do.
Mm-hmm.
And when it stops doing that, I go get a new one.
Yeah, I want to know what BlackBerry's doing. That's really the announcement I'm waiting for.
They're coming back, man.
They're making Windows phones.
Are they out of business yet?
They got bought by Microsoft.
Really?
Or no, Nokia did.
Nokia did.
Damn. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Okay.
then they fired everyone that they bought out.
Yeah.
Right, so what happened to BlackBerry? I thought somebody else bought them.
No, I think they're still hanging in.
Didn't Alicia Keys become like their president
making-
of something and
Yes.
then was tweeting from her iPhone?
Probably.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
There's like 6 people on the planet who still like a physical keyboard. So that's what's keeping BlackBerry going.
If
I know.
they offered a smartphone like this with a little slide-out keyboard, I would love it. But
Yeah. Meh. So you want a sidekick.
yeah. No, fuck that thing. That thing was like this big.
Nah.
That's what the phones are.
Yeah, because you could sidekick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
He's
Just like
It was
the
like a
Nicolas Cage.
I could go for half a Subway sandwich.
but it was like 3.5 inches thick. That's
Ah.
I know
So
that
it was
feeling.
like
What?
it's like another half of a half of a Subway sandwich plus a little.
Yeah.
Plus a scotch.
Some people call it a quarter. I like half.
It's like a can of green beans down there.
The old half.
Yeah.
What?
Jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
A few.
Yeah.
Podcast. Whatever.
Oh yeah, we have to make that. Let's go.
Let's do with the talking and the words and the...
Yep. All right. Somebody clap. Let's make a podcast. Thank you. All right. Welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 242.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a number.
Palindrome number.
Yeah. Front 242.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go ahead and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then we rate them. Good bad movies. Enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Hooray.
All right.
And the bad movies doesn't stay away. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags as in douchebags after Twilight.
Haboo.
Big time boo.
No.
I don't know what led us to this movie. Randomness, that's mildly.
Pretty much,
Sure,
yes.
randomness.
We figured it would be Rucker Hauer shooting dudes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was. We did 1986's Wanted, Dead or Alive. So plot summary, because that's what we do. Let me talk more about it. Bounty hunter Nick gets caught up in a cat and mouse game in this high-octane thriller. Former CIA agent Randall butts heads with an international terrorist who's turning Los Angeles into a brutal battleground through a series of bombings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nick.
Close enough.
Sure.
Bounty Hunter Nick.
Bounty hunter Nick. Nick Rivers.
Yeah. Apparently the great-grandson of Steve McQueen's character from the TV show Wanted, Dead or Alive.
Yep. It is a sequel movie. You need to watch all the episodes of that show to understand what's going on here.
We did.
To know
Think
all the history.
There's a harmonica involved.
Nope.
No?
No.
Wasn't in the show.
Probably.
Well, I don't know about the show, but there was definitely no harmonica in the movie whatsoever.
Oh, right.
BJ, no, you're wrong because there's nothing but harmonica in this movie.
I see. I was so inundated with harmonica that I got used to the sound and thought it was part of the background.
Yeah, you were saturated with harmonica.
Yes.
Harmonica's like oxygen
Harmonica
in this movie.
all over.
Yes. Yes.
You just don't realize
all
it's
over-
there, but
all
it's
over my body.
everywhere.
Mhm.
There's even a story about the harmonica.
Yes. There's actually 2 harmonicas.
Yeah, we'll see.
When there was only one harmonica.
That's when one harmonica was carrying the other harmonica.
That's when the Marine.
No, that's when you can only play in one key.
That's when the Marine band carried you.
You need the vest of harmonicas in order
Oh.
to properly play
Okay.
with every situation.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's Wanted, Dead or Alive.
Yeah. So I liked it.
Let's rate it.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, Gene Simmons
it's pretty,
is in
it's
this.
pretty
Oh, yeah,
harmonious.
yeah.
Oh, right.
Gene Simmons
Yes.
Yeah.
Master thespian Gene Simmons.
Yes.
of Never Too Young to Die fame,
Yes.
And
a.k.a. Stargrove.
and the Tom Selleck Spider movie,
Runaway.
Runaway. Yeah. And I don't know. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I think it's all he's done.
And he was in Kiss, I think.
I never saw
What?
that movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that was a Prince song.
Oh.
Oh,
He did not sing.
Oh, the
on
Tom
that
Jones
Prince
song? Okay.
right.
And then Robert Guillaume is in it.
Yeah.
That is correct.
TV's
Oh yeah,
Benson.
Robert Guillaume
Yes.
And
making his BMFcast debut, I believe.
Most likely.
Unless
yeah.
he's been a voice in something, but I doubt it.
Lion King. Did we watch that?
No.
Okay.
No, we did not.
Then this is probably it.
We've watched it. We just haven't watched it for the show.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
I saw Lion King.
Okay. I
saw
also
it in the
Lion King.
theater.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah. It was that was
Yeah, it was a movie.
Are you
That
in a
was
movie
good.
theater because there's a Broadway show, sir?
I have a confession to make.
What? You saw the Broadway show?
I've never seen a Broadway show.
Oh. Period? Okay.
Period.
That's
Never.
too bad.
End of sentence.
Never have I ever seen a Broadway show.
Well,
Now you go.
all our darkest, deepest secrets coming out on this episode of the BMFcast.
I just had to take a drink. I thought that was the rules.
Oh,
So
all right. Spin the bottle.
we actually do want to talk about this movie.
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
Was there anyone else in it of note?
No.
No. Okay.
Deep Throat from the X-Files.
Yes.
Right on.
Season 1.
Yeah.
X-Files making
Because we're just going to be on a streak of forever where somebody who was in X-Files at some point is going to show up in an episode.
X-Files was on for 25 fucking years.
Yeah. And it
was on longer
everybody
than Wanted
who was
Dead or
in
Alive.
any B movie at any point
Yep.
in the 80s or early 90s
That's
shows up in X-Files at some point.
Yeah.
So the movie.
Right. Starts.
So yeah, he's a bounty hunter. Nick's a bounty hunter.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is.
Goes to a shitty dive bar where we think there's going to be a Donnybrook.
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
There's a couple guys harassing some guys at the pool table,
It's just casing the joint.
rolling them for some money or something. I don't know. And then he's just kind of like, these fucking guys. So follows them. Then they go to like an Asian food market place and start harassing the shop owner and I guess his daughter or something. And much younger girl. And like finally he's like, all right, fine, I've had enough of this shit. So basically takes one out as he's walking out of the place, loaded up with beer and chips and everything. Kicks the guy that was in the car, and then the one he's actually after, the one who's actually on the most wanted list, is still like pretty much threatening to kill the shopkeeper. So he walks in and begins just gunning the place up, like pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, he shoots the cooler.
like
shoots-
intentionally not shooting the guy, just
No.
shooting everything around him so that the guy's freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. Shooting the chip display,
Yeah.
shooting the freezer.
Anyway, like eventually, clocks him against the head with this crazy shotgun. He's got like a pistol grip shotgun with a
Laser
laser
scope.
scope on it.
Which really, you just point the shotgun.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it's going.
Yeah, it's a shotgun.
Yeah. You're going to hit something.
Laser sight, I guess, not scope. Whatever. Anyway, but yeah, and so like anyway, like handcuffs him and throws the guy $100 and is like, sorry for your trouble that
Yeah.
I just destroyed your shop. I
Yeah.
guess, but
Keep the change, you filthy.
it was
animal.
1986. It probably was about $100 worth of damage.
Yeah, for that. Yeah, for
Yeah.
those food products.
Yeah.
Because the guy was
Inflation.
stealing Meisterbrow. So,
Right. So anyway, yeah, so takes him to or calls the cops and was like, all right, I'm bringing the scumbag in, meet me.
Meet me outside because I don't like cops.
Right.
Cops don't like me.
Which
Yes.
he
He's
says
best
that-
friend with a cop.
He
basically.
says that he's best friends with this guy, but he's like explaining the whole deal to him for us, basically. But it's like, why are you telling this guy your whole spiel? He should know that already. But
maybe.
yeah, he's just like, I'm bringing a guy in. Meet me outside,
Yeah. His buddy Danny.
Danny. And Danny's like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Where's this guy?
Yeah. And the guy's in the trunk.
Yeah.
And they open the trunk. The guy's like, you have read me my rights, you son of a bitch. This is no good. And he's like, I'm not a cop.
That's pretty much where we learn that that's what's going on. I mean,
Yeah.
we've kind of figured it out already, but
And he's like, you're a goddamn bounty hunter.
You suck ass, dude.
You piece of trash.
I'm going to go ahead and say, like, at this point, like, I love the fact that this is a mid to late 80s action movie where it's just like, it's an R.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking like, go nuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Violence, cursing, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any nudity, but, it could have been. It just probably was no need for it. It was
Yeah,
like,
it just didn't come up.
we need wall-to-wall cursing and violence, so why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, this guy's like getting some good shots in.
Right.
Yeah.
And the cop like slams the trunk on his head,
Of course.
and then
Take
like,
this cocksucker out of here.
get him out of here.
Yeah.
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 And then
it's good
Rutger
stuff.
Hauer goes back to his bat cave.
Right.
Yeah.
Which he kind of has like a warehouse just for his bounty hunting stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking sweet pad.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I mean, he has like a almost like a
Afraid
garage
of it.
door opener, but it's like all coated and stuff that lets him into the building. Then one that opens the elevator, lets him drive the car on, and then waits a certain period of time and then lifts the car up. So he has basically the Batcave thing because he's got several cars waiting there and several motorcycles and a shooting range, a gun vault,
Weight room.
yeah, like one of the shitty like miniature little hockey tables. I don't know what you call those. They're not
Air hockey.
like almost like
No.
foosball, but no.
I don't know what they're called.
Air hockey.
Yeah,
No.
no air. It's just like foosball, but with hockey.
Hockey.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay.
It's a hockey table.
Yes.
Very good. He's got
all,
one.
that's probably all it's called, actually.
Yeah.
But and then just I don't know, just cool shit.
Yeah, whatever he
cool
needs.
But plenty of weaponry.
Yes.
He has like an arsenal wall.
Yeah. He has a basketball and a goal, and
Yeah, but he plays like almost goth music, but like dancey goth.
yeah, it's like Bauhaus or some weird
Yeah,
shit
it's-
playing. It's like, what the fuck are you listening to? Because he was listening to it in the car,
Mm-hmm.
and then when he got up, he finds it on the radio and like keeps listening to it, and it's just like, this is not what I would expect
is
you to
not
be listening
Rutger
to.
Hauer music.
No.
Even though your name's Rutger Hauer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Kind of wants to dance to it, but instead he just starts slamming a basketball
Mm-hmm.
against the wall.
Yeah.
And then
And then brains himself in the face with a basketball.
yeah, and he's just like, well, I'm a goofy bounty hunter. Dude.
And Danny shows up, pays him for the job, says, hey, 25 grand, not bad for a night's work. And he's like, yeah, whatever. I'm Rutger Hauer.
He's making him sign all this paperwork
Mm-hmm.
stuff. He's like, ah.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
worry.
where he learned he has a girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and that Danny has bought a motorcycle, and Rutger
Yes,
Hauer is going to blackmail him about his, he's going to tell his wife that he bought a motorcycle
Mm-hmm.
if,
Yeah, because he has to keep the motorcycle at the Batcave because
Mhm.
he can't let his wife find
which he
out.
drives around later, inside,
Yeah. Just the scene starts. You
while
just see
having
him
a conversation.
riding around this warehouse like, wee! During the biggest crisis LA has ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah. Because, like, intercut during the opening scenes is Gene Simmons at the airport dressed as a rabbi, getting in a car, then immediately killing that guy. And then
I think that guy actually thought he was the rabbi that he was supposed to pick up or something. It was some elaborate plan.
it just seemed like a strange ruse to just get in the car that was following them.
Not as strange as the fact that after he slits the guy's throat and then gets into the proper van where where his terrorist friends are waiting,
Mm-hmm.
he actually pulls out a pair of scissors and begins cutting his giant rabbi beard. It's
Yes.
like you actually grew.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Well, no, Gene Simmons didn't actually, but there's the character.
Yes.
did.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
the
yeah.
character in the
Yeah, of
movie went through this ruse where he was like, you know what, I
Yeah.
can wait. I
Grow
don't
this
know,
beard.
8
He
months
was-
to a year. And,
Yeah.
He was a method Jew.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to live it if you're going to do it.
I believe
Okay.
he kind of does. I think so.
It is okay. It's for November. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's an Arab terrorist guy
Yeah.
who really only has an accent when he says his own name,
Yes.
and then he just talks like Gene Simmons. So,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then it's not very long before they start enacting their plan. I think we kind of leave Rutger Hauer for a little while and go into like it's time. I think he goes to his boat or
Yeah.
whatever and has sexy time with his stewardess, soon to be was it doctor, lawyer? What was she trying to study?
Anthropologist.
Anthropologist. Okay.
Yeah. She's going to get her doctorate.
Doctorate in anthro. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
And continue to be a stewardess
Right.
because she won't get a job.
Yeah, but she wasn't
Flight
supposed to
attendant,
be
sorry.
there.
Well, no, it's the
No.
1986 stewardess.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah.
But yeah,
Time
she
period.
wasn't supposed to be there. She surprised him on his boat.
Yes.
Yes. The
Which-
HMS Bounty.
Yeah.
Get it?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. He's a bounty hunter.
There it is.
Oh. I couldn't get
I
over
thought
the fact that I was waiting for the mutiny.
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
Oh.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So Gene Simmons' first part, of his 9-point evil plan is that he's going to blow up a movie theater
Yeah.
that is showing Rambo First Blood Part 2, even though Marquis just says Rambo.
Rambo.
And we're showing that he and his lady accomplice
Yeah.
are going in. He's gone to meet somebody, and they get this explanation about how the trigger and the remote trigger works, and
Yeah.
a
and
little
he
bit
gets
too long of a scene.
super hard on about it. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh, this is so good.
This will work 2 miles away, and he's like, but then I wouldn't see it blow up.
Yeah. I want to be there.
Yeah. So they go into the theater in like a matinee, and keep in mind this is Rambo 2,
Yeah.
and there's like families with little kids walking in and out of the theater.
It's the 80s, man.
I love that they're also like all dressed up. Too.
Yeah.
They're like
It
in
was-
their Sunday best to go to see Rambo.
It was that last
Yeah.
bastion of, hey, we're going to the movies. Put on your finest outfits.
Yeah, this was back in
The
the day.
Joker might kill your parents after.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Come on, Martha. Young Bruce wants to see Rambo.
Yeah. So anyway, they throw some kids there to make it even more tragic. Which really, a theater full of 170 people. I don't need a couple of kids thrown in there to go, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
No.
Why did that have to happen?
But yes, they blow up this theater and murder roughly 170 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has called the newspaper right before that and said, a lot of people are going to take credit for this. I just want you to know it's me.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, what do you mean? He's like, because I'm standing outside and I just put my handprint on this phone booth.
Yep.
So check it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then this like mobilizes the city because
Sure.
all the cops are like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons.
Yeah, because the next morning, Rucker Howard and his lady are having breakfast, and breaking news, and he's just like, "Huh, that's a shame. Here, have some more coffee." And,
Yeah.
and then Benson
Drink
sticks
your
his,
orange juice.
sticks his head in the boat, like, "Hey," and he's like, "Oh no, it's you," who we don't know who he is, but he's just like, "I'm gonna go take a walk with this guy. Just stay here and drink more coffee." So they go off, and
Robert Guillaume gives him the whole breakdown.
yeah, he's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "The CIA needs you now more than ever, Black Dynamite. Come back and just one more
It's
job,
white
Just-
dynamite.
Yeah, and Rucker Howard's just like, "No, I'm not doing this."
Well, he doesn't want to do it because he knows that Deep Throat from the X-Files is
Yeah.
running things.
Yeah, he's just like, you guys are just
Yeah.
gonna fuck with me, and I don't.
Yeah,
wanna
he's
be
like,
part of this."
Lipton's in charge. Fuck that, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah,
And Robert Guillaume's like, well, it's like $250,000.
Yeah, plus 50K if you bring him in alive.
yeah. He's
Or,
like,
well, even better is he asks him. He's like, "What's the bonus for bringing him in alive?" And he's like, "It's another 50,000." He's like, "Good. I just want to know what I'm throwing away when I murder that
Yeah.
son of a bitch."
yeah, but he's like, "Okay, if I'm in."
Yeah.
I got to do this. I got to do it my way, and no one follows me, and everyone leaves me alone. Just let me do my thing. And Robert Guillaume's like, "Yeah, that dude, no problem." And then, like,
And
immediately,
the thing is, Robert Guillaume sticks to that.
oh yes, absolutely, he does.
Everyone above Robert Guillaume doesn't give a fuck what Robert Guillaume has promised him.
Yeah, because like they go their separate ways, and immediately Rucker Howard's like, "Son of a bitch, there's a guy over here watching me." So that begins like the middle chunk of this movie, which is basically forget Gene Simmons and whatever's going on there. We have to track Rucker Howard, and they give like a flimsy explanation as to why. But it's just increasingly annoying that they're putting all their resources into just following Rucker Howard.
Yeah, because I mean, their reasoning is he's the bait.
Yeah.
They know that Gene Simmons has a complete hard-on for Rucker Hauer, wants to kill him because back in Beirut
Shit went bad.
in '78, he killed 4 of them and he didn't get the 5th, and
Yeah.
the 5th is Gene Simmons, and
He's pissed.
it wouldn't have mattered except it was all Gene Simmons' friends. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So they
as
figure-
always in
Paul
the
Stanley,
'80s,
Ace Frehley.
yeah,
Yeah.
as always in the
Starman.
'80s, if there was shady shit and somebody had a past and something went wrong, it always went wrong in Beirut.
Beirut, man. I'm glad they built a wall around that country because we needed to stop going
But I
there
love
and fucking
that-
shit up.
I love that I honestly don't know what actually happened in Beirut. I only
idea.
know like the movie version of Beirut is like, man, we did some bad shit. Like CIA, FBI,
We were running Black
Internal
Ops there
Affairs,
for like 25
whoever
years.
was there.
Yeah.
They did something bad and it all went wrong.
Yep.
Always.
I think actual Beirut was nothing. I think it was like Grenada. I think it was like this weekend thing where it was just like, well, that would have that happen.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the movie makes it this big boogeyman town of just boo Beirut.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's basically the whole midsection is Rucker Howard trying to do things and seeing that he's being followed or actually getting stopped. But
Yeah, he gets leads.
yeah,
Like he starts out, they're kind of he ditches one tail because he sees him when he's getting off his boat, so he swims out of his boat on the back end.
Yeah.
Gets in the car, yanks the guy's shifter out, so that the guy cannot put the car in drive to chase him.
Just breaks
Just breaks the thing off.
Yeah,
'Cause
breaks
it's
it off.
It's a wheel mounted one.
On the
Yeah.
yeah. And breaks a bottle and sort of stabs him in the neck a little bit with it. And so he tells Robert Guillaume later, he's like, I marked him.
Not only did I figure out who he was, I marked him for
Yeah.
you.
So yeah, he's kind of doing his job. He's getting leads and stuff. The thing about Rucker Hauer in this movie up until a point is that he's very sort of lackadaisical about everything he's doing. Like everything takes a good long amount of time. Like even
Yeah.
dialogue is just sort of like he's just gonna get there when he gets there. Just let him whatever he wants
He's
to
having
do.
fun with this.
Yeah. So he's not in a hurry. And even like when he gets in this convoluted trap where he's been blocked off by 2 of the guys chasing him, he just busts out a newspaper. It's just like, well, I'll just wait here until this foolishness is over with.
Well, because they've brought in apparently the LAPD to
Yeah.
like pull him over for some bullshit parking violation to slow him down. Which is weird because
It
I
would
don't,
actually cause an accident.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. They pull a car out in front of him so that he hits it. But
Yeah.
But yeah, basically it just slows him down, which doesn't make any sense because ultimately the guys above Robert Guillaume are essentially trying to use him as bait,
Right.
Like, because he goes and finds, like, I don't really understand how he found the first loose thread, but he found the big redneck like Vietnam vet guy.
Well, they found one guy that they had in jail that was some kind of
Okay, that's right.
link.
That's
They
right.
traced
And
the
then he squeezed him.
thing they found.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
the
found out
trigger.
where it was stolen from.
the trigger, and then they
Solenoid.
found out where he had bought the solenoid
Yeah.
trigger, and that's the guy where he and the wife were watching wrestling and
Right.
eating
Yeah.
horrible food.
Which I'm pretty sure he was going to murder that guy, except for he was like, "Oh, you were in the shit. All right, well, you're just kind of a shithead now, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to murder you, but you should know better."
Well,
you know.
and he
Yeah,
quizzes
but-
that guy too. He's like, "So you came back from Vietnam, huh?" He's like, "Yes, he did, because he's
no,
there."
I'm still there, actually, Rucker.
Because then, like, instead of saying something clever, he just says, "A lot of good guys didn't come back."
Yeah,
And it's just like, okay,
yeah. There's a few where he doesn't get
yeah.
lines in at all.
It's like, come on,
Yeah, but he got
Punch
a
that
name
up.
for
Need a
it.
couple script passes
Yeah.
to punch that up.
Yeah.
He got a
Needed
name.
an Arnie to drop a line in there for him.
Yeah, he got a name from him, and then goes to see that guy, and that's where. That's just before he gets into or that's right after the traffic accident.
Yeah.
Like they slowed him down.
That's
on
where
the way.
he's going.
Yeah.
that's
Right.
what doesn't make sense about their reasoning
Yeah.
is they're using him as bait,
Right.
But he's actually doing their job for him. Like,
Yes.
I
he's
think the-
got a lead that's going to lead to the next guy.
I think what they were saying in their little powwow was that he was getting there too quickly and they weren't ready to mobilize. So I think their intention is still to get Gene Simmons, but it's like he's getting there too fast and we can't be there to take the credit for it.
Yeah.
So stop him until we can get there.
Yeah,
Because
something like that. Because he was basically almost to the guy that was like one step below Gene Simmons'
Right,
crew.
right.
And so, but they also had a guy on the inside that was like really like right next to him because like they had the evil falafel shop that was basically like their. Well, I'm just saying like
the shop itself is not evil.
well, the shop may
Yes,
have been.
if you had-
It may have been. You never know. But like
Those are some evil
like all of
falafels.
their
They're awful
awful,
falafels.
awful. You beat me to it by 2 seconds. Damn it.
they were making bomb nagoosh. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So like basically, but I'm just saying like this is the point of operations. Like notes are getting passed in and out of here about all right, kill this guy, take this here, do. I mean, this is the cover operation, but they have like a guy on the inside there because they send their flunky who got marked with the bottle in to talk to his guys.
Yeah.
And basically say like, okay, go off and kill Rutger Hauer and the guy that he's about to question.
Right.
So that the FBI, the CIA, whoever tries to roll in and murder and trap and catch them as they're trying to murder him. I guess
Yeah.
get them on that charge. Whatever. But yeah, it becomes this crazy shootout. The guy that it gets another name from, which is basically now Gene Simmons' right hand man, bomb making man, and gets his name right before this guy gets shot up in this car chase.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He does this weird thing where like he ditches his car in a parking garage and then hides out in the sewers or something. It's bizarre.
It's a little
convoluted.
strange.
Yeah.
Car chase isn't that great, but there's some good, like, the windshield gets all shot up and he's just shooting his shotgun out and blowing up cars in front of him.
Oh
and-
yeah, that one. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's...
Well, no, I thought you were going to take it a step further because there's a like an SUV, like a suburban thing that's been trailing him. That's the Arab assassin guys.
Yeah.
And one guy's hanging out the back shooting at him, and he just takes his crazy shotgun, shoots him. Guy falls out of the back, and then just like really good dummy gets
Yeah.
rolled over by his Lincoln or whatever.
Yeah. And he acts totally
Yeah, like
annoyed by it.
perpendicular to the car. I mean,
Yeah.
just
Like, stuck under both wheels.
head and knees.
And he's just like...
crunch.
He's just like, God
Like,
damn it.
There are still chunks of that guy. In
Oh,
that
yeah.
car.
It's never coming out.
But Rucker just gives the best reaction, like, ah,
Yeah.
that's gonna mess with my suspension.
Yeah. Totally.
But yeah,
But yeah, then
I'm
he,
out of alignment now.
then he goes into the sewers and goes
Well-
feral. I don't know.
well, no, but what happens? Like they get the guy cornered, and the guy comes out with the bomb that he had,
Oh, yeah, right.
and then he's gonna shoot him, like shoot the bomb out of his hand or whatever. And the guy's like, "No, we need to negotiate with him," and then he blows himself up.
Yeah.
And that's when Rucker just basically flat out confronts Deep Throat and everybody else that's there, and he's like, "You bastards!"
Oh, yeah. Just pulls a knife on
yeah,
that guy.
and that's when he's like, "Well, what's the deal? Why me?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "Because you're the bait.
Yeah, 'cause
you're
Beirut, son.
Yeah, it's Beirut because everything went wrong, so they need you." He's like, well, fuck all this. And it's like, quit tailing me. I'm off the case.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
Yeah. I'm turning in my badge and my gun.
Right.
If I had one to turn in, but I'm not actually sanctioned by you, so whatever.
Just figuratively
So
here.
just leave me alone.
Right.
Go away.
I'm off the force.
I've blocked you on Twitter. Mm-hmm. So
The end.
yeah. So then he
No, even worse, he muted him.
Yeah.
He'll
Oh,
never even know.
no.
Oh, so bad. Yeah.
But yeah.
But
so
there's a good moment earlier where Guillaume has set up that he knows he's got a voltage meter on his phone to know if someone's listening or not. And one of the calls, he realizes someone was listening, and he calls whoever and is like, "Run a trace on my phone."
He basically turns around and sees Deep Throat like hanging up the phone
Yeah.
in the other room.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like,
you guys are really shitty at this like covert thing.
yeah.
because then it comes back. He's like, "No, your phone's clean, dude." And he's like, "Really?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Well, I'll just go
Yeah.
check out this meeting that they're having." And they're all just like, "Hey, how's it going?" You know, after they've just had this 20 minutes of, "We're gonna get Rucker Hauer, that son of a bitch." And he just comes in. They're just like, "Hey, man, how's your buddy doing?" And he's just like, he sees the guy with the neck wound. And gives him a line, you know, it's like, "Oh, I should switch to electric. You'll save on Band-Aids."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I get it. Ha ha. It's real funny."
And he's like, no, that's a good piece of advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't get razor burn at all.
Yeah, because then Deep Throat's like, you know, "No, we're everything's cool here. We're not."
Yeah. They're all pulling the Mark Wahlberg. What?
No. Yeah. And Guillaume's just looking at him like, "You motherfuckers."
We weren't following Rucker Hauer. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so Guillaume knows now.
Yeah.
And then he's pretty much on board with Rucker Hauer the rest of the time. He's just like, "Look, man, wasn't me." When he gets confronted later about
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah. So Rucker drives off with the dead body in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
He's just like, and they're still following him.
Yeah.
And that's when he just does. He
Yeah,
goes to
that's
the
when he
bottom
goes-
of a parking garage and
Eventually goes in the sewers.
yeah, goes in the sewers, gets a cool 0-point perspective shot of him using his going down a tunnel with just the flashlight.
Yep.
That goes on for way too long.
They knew they had a cool shot.
Yeah, they knew they had a
Just
cool
little
shot.
too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to his boat, right?
I think so, because they've gone back to tailing his boat because they're like, we lost him, and that's really the only place we know he might be. 'Cause maybe they don't know about his bat cave. I don't know.
No, he said they were watching it because
okay.
he had to. That's why he arranges that ruse on the boat just so he could get back to the loft.
Right.
But yeah, he goes back to the boat, and his girlfriend is surprisingly there. And he's like, "What? You got to get out of here. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
He's like, well, no, you stay here. I'm going to get out of here
Yeah.
and call my friend Danny, the cop, who happens to have a Rutger Hauer wig in his bathroom.
Yeah, I would think the wife would ask questions about that before the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we mentioned he's hiding a Harley at
Oh, yeah,
at the
we-
Bat Cave.
yeah.
Did we mention it?
Oh yeah,
we did.
because he
Sorry.
drove it around like.
Oh,
an idiot.
okay, yeah. But yeah, he puts on his Rutger Hauer wig and goes towards the to the boat and picks up his trench coat and then walks onto the boat so that everyone thinks it's Rutger Hauer going onto the boat. Meanwhile, he's sitting over there with all the bums
Right.
that hang out of the boatyards, I guess. And
Well, he's going to then take Danny's car, and,
Right.
and so he can go back to the loft.
yeah, because he needs like his arsenal.
Yeah, because they're all like, "He's on the boat. He's here. We got him." Again, not chasing Gene. Gene Simmons has been out of this movie for like an hour, basically, even though they've revealed the plot, which is to blow up a chemical factory and, you know, do this 24, like, cloud that's going to blanket Los Angeles and
Yeah.
kill 30,000 people. But
Yeah.
that's not important right now because...
Well, they planned it out with the Santa Ana winds and down
yeah.
the valley and all that.
But none of this is important. We got to get Rucker Hauer because Beirut. So...
But yeah, so I mean, basically, Danny goes on the boat, sees the girlfriend who's never met him before in her
No.
life, and he's just like, "Hello, you must be so and so, smooch."
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not him. Obviously, I'm Danny, and we have to go for a little boat ride.
Yeah.
and she's just like, "Oh, you."
Oh, this is fun.
yeah.
She takes this well.
Yeah.
She does.
But she doesn't take the next thing very well because...
Yeah. well, nobody would. Because
She's
boat,
probably more upset about it than you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
That boat blows the fuck up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Literally seconds later.
Yep. And Rucker
Yeah, 'cause-
Hauer's like...
'cause, like,
And the
things
whole
are-
time Robert Guillaume has been yelling at him. He's like, Rucker Hauer.
Yeah.
Rucker Hauer.
Nick.
Nick. Yeah, because he runs down to the pier, and like fishermen are holding him back, and
Yeah, and he you kind of figure that he suspects it's not him,
yeah,
but Either way, the boat blows up. He just saw it. He knows somebody just died.
Yeah.
It's a weird shift in tone because things had gotten a little jaunty there for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, things, it was like, all right, shit went real. And then it was like, okay, let's play Rutger Hauer lose the cops game.
Yeah.
And, and then, like, him joking with his friend and everything. And then friend shows up and, like, hey, you don't know me, but I'm going to kidnap you to the sea where there are no laws.
Yeah.
Right. They're gonna drive out 5 miles and then gamble.
And then
play craps.
And then boom, just out, I think we knew it was coming, like, because Gene Simmons had been like, all right, go to his boat and murder, because I think they captured, what it was is they captured the guy who cut himself shaving.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
The guy had been marked, and they were torturing him, and
Yeah.
he said he has a boat in the whatever marina.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but this movie needed a course correction because up until that point, it was, I don't want to say toneless, but it was not your typical, like, he's a badass and shit's gone wrong and he's got to deal with it. It was just kind of like, he's going to do some stuff and other guys are going to do some stuff and everybody's kind of going to joke about it and something might blow up.
The reason it feels jaunty is because the harmonica on the soundtrack is wailing away whenever there's no dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did we not mention that until now? Well, we mentioned the backstory about the harmonica, but not that it was also...
Yeah, on the soundtrack.
It's basically...
Like, if you think of the Lethal Weapon, like, guitar wail...
Or
imagine that...
The bulletproof sax.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that replaced with harmonica where it's like... Wah!
Just guy jamming. Like, no theme. Not like a recurring theme.
No.
Not, like a Sergio Leone kind of thing, but just guy just jamming on a harmonica. Like, whenever there's space to fill.
Mm-hmm.
And usually that's when something serious is going on. Yeah, so it adds a weird tone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was hard to nail down exactly where this movie was going. But the boat blows
But
up.
the boat blows up. Is basically his only two friends that aren't Robert Guillaume are dead. And he's seen it happen too, because he was on the docks just pretending to be a dock worker so that he could kind of sneak away at some point.
Right.
And he didn't expect the boat to get blown up.
No. No, he did not.
But yeah, so
because he was getting ready to get in the car and go.
Yeah.
And the boat blows up and he starts freaking out. Guillaume gets back in his car and calls Deep Throat on the radio. And it's just like, they killed him. It's goddamn, they blew up the boat. And he's just like, well, I guess we can divert resources now.
Yeah, Deep Throat's just like, well, take surveillance off him then.
Well, the guy's a real dick because, like, he's on the walkie-talkie and he's, like, holding the button down like, yeah, all right, I guess call off the surveillance on him. Like, doesn't bother to take his thumb off.
Yeah.
It's just like, just so you know, Robert Guillaume, I don't really care.
Yeah.
What your friend's
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
But then immediately, Rutger Hauer's in the back seat, pointing a gun at him. He's like, the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Don't turn around. Drive.
Yeah.
Guillaume's like, oh, ghost with a gun.
Mm-hmm. But this establishes that nobody else knows that he's alive except Robert Guillaume.
Yeah. For the rest of the movie.
Yeah, for the rest of the movie. And so, yeah, this becomes, all right, get me here so I can get armed and
Yep.
take out Gene
Gearing
Simmons.
up montage back at the Batcave.
Yeah.
Which kind of really isn't. He's already geared up, but he's just watching
But
television.
he's taping his pants.
Yeah, wait, okay. It's terrible pants.
Why is he
Puts on
taking
the-
his pants?
Because there was no fastening features on those pants. They were just material.
But why is he taping them?
They were like leather parachute pants.
Yeah.
They look.
They were the
they look
worst.
weird. They looked like
Hefty
a
bags.
windbreaker,
For pants.
but pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
Pants breaker.
Terrible pants.
I am the pants breaker.
They were the type of pants Rutger Hauer should not be wearing.
No, but he did.
But they are the type of pants that Rutger Hauer would wear.
Yeah, because he
Right.
did. And he had a person in the crew who specifically picked them out for him.
Yeah, but they're the pants like your wife's just like, you're wearing that today?
Mm-hmm.
You're wearing those pants to go kill Gene Simmons?
You're wearing those fucking pants again.
I wouldn't let you out of the Bauhaus with those on. No, I'm just saying, like, maybe that's the shit he was wearing in the club. And he's like, I don't know, military combat. Look, it's got pockets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cargo pants.
But yeah.
So the news is on, and it's like, hey, Gene Simmons is doing shit.
Yeah, and in the background they've been saying like, oh, here's the body count. Here they've blown up this boat with these two people. That brings the count up to this, and
There's car bombs everywhere.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the next step,
Yeah.
Because like they go to the how it's made barrel factory and show us that they're basically creating barrels from scratch,
Yep.
and like
They're filling them with
they're
one of
filling-
two things.
Yes, they're all the same color. Like it's not like the red barrels get.
No.
Like, it could get a little confusing about where the logistics of where all the barrels are. But like they're loading up the barrels and sealing with either packed to the brim with dynamite
Mm-hmm.
or terrorist.
Yes.
And now when we say terrorist, we mean your typical like
Yep.
green fatigue,
stereotypical
The
red, white,
yeah.
head
Red
scarf,
bandana,
headscarf,
scarf thing.
Yeah, and it's just and an AK-47.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay. You know, all ruses are done, and
Yeah.
now, you know, we have barrels full of terrorists, and we're loading them onto trucks.
And this movie had a pretty good fake dynamite budget because they're passing around like these huge, like, here, give this to Mahlim, and you know it's just this. It's like 20 sticks of dynamite taped together with some wires on it. It's just like here.
It's like your Acme Dynamite.
right.
Yeah.
It's just the
And
most
there's
comical.
a shitload of it.
Yes, it's everywhere.
fucking everywhere.
Yeah, because they established that they were in crates, and then you just see wall of crates behind all
Yeah.
the barrels, and it's like, God damn, that's a
you
lot
just-
of dynamite.
You see him filling barrels and putting the lid back on. It's like, good lord.
Yeah, it's a lot of dynamite.
Yeah.
But this is when Gene Simmons is like, all right, it's time for, you know, part 7 of the 9-point plan. It's start, you know, setting off the car bombs, and I guess to create, you know, chaos around Los
Sure.
Angeles and divide all the forces.
Diversion.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we load the trucks onto, you know, with the various and assorted
Yeah.
barrels.
And meanwhile, Rucker Hauer, basically, Robert Guillaume's called him and said, here's an address.
Yeah.
So he goes there and he finds the wetsuit that is still dripping. That he's like, oh, this is how they blew up my fucking boat.
Yep.
Yeah, this was the guy.
Yeah, this was the guy. And then he hears the guy come back.
Yep.
And the guy knows there's somebody there because he sees the bike and he's sneaking in slow. And man, he turns a corner and just gets biker helmet directly to the face.
Yep.
Oh man.
I mean, just jacked in the face.
Yeah.
Then Rucker Hauer throws him into the locker a few times and then puts him
Takes
inside
his
the
lunch
locker.
money. Yeah.
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 Well, the first
Shuts the locker.
the guy's like, "Let me out, please."
Yeah, he actually says that. He's like, I'm being very polite now.
And he's like, "No, you're going to tell me where's Gene Simmons?" And he's like, "I don't know who Gene Simmons is."
Yeah.
And so he will tap on the cabinet and then fire the shotgun. And the guy's just freaking out. Just, ah!
Well, I'm sure it's loud.
Well, I'm sure he's also getting
It's
hit
also
by
a
his
fucking shotgun.
Yeah.
because later
Yeah, maybe.
he's fucking covered in blood. But so he does that 2 or 3 times till the guy eventually gives up the information. Rucker Hauer's like, "Thank you," and then knocks the cabinet over, and it goes down the stairs.
Down the stairs.
Very nice move. I like
Which later on leads to a great reaction from Robert Guillaume when he and Deep Throat and all the other people show up there and they're like, "Oh my," like, "Oh, they've got the
Something
guy
happened
and
here.
there's a bunch of dynamite here and everything." And then Robert Guillaume just looks at the locker and he just kind of shakes his head. He's like, "Oh, that son of a bitch."
Yep, he's like-
and then he just starts laughing. He's like, "Fuck yeah. I love that guy."
Yeah.
And then there's this convoluted where they get the guy that was in the locker from the LAPD and they start questioning him, and like their interrogation methods are like one backhand. That was at the other place.
Yeah.
But anyway, like they try to start questioning this guy.
Yeah.
And like they're all just kind of standing around like, well, I don't know, he's not really talking. What do we do? And he just reaches over, pulls out the sidearm of one guy, sticks in his mouth, and blows his head off.
Yeah.
Like after they'd handed this piece of paper and be like, is this address important?
Yeah.
And yeah, he just reaches over, blam, and like everybody's kind of like,
Oh, that happened.
oh
Shit.
And they all just kind of looked at him while he did it. He didn't
Yeah.
do it fast. He just kind of went,
Just like,
Yeah.
oh, gone.
oh shit,
Hey,
that's
guys.
It's like, oh, do you want to do that? Oh, I guess you did.
like,
Yeah, 'cause they had time to pull their guns on him.
Yeah.
Like, no, don't
Yeah.
shoot. We'll shoot you if you shoot yourself in the head.
I mean, all of them could have just been like, bap. It's just like, no.
just bat him like a puppy.
But yeah, that dude kills himself, and they're just like, "Well, I guess we pull surveillance off him too."
Yeah.
Well, I guess this address was important.
Yeah,
Go there.
Let's go there and
All
see
right,
what
let's go
happens.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so they go there, which is basically like where they were doing all the planning,
Yeah.
because they find the blueprints for the theater, and they're like, okay,
Wow.
so what's this other blueprint for? It's a factory. Where is it?
Yeah, this is when they poorly interrogate the
Yeah.
guy. Where they're just like one guy, they're like, "Where is this? Where is this factory?" And he's just like, "Bip, you know, my pimp hand is strong."
Right.
And he's just like, "Well, I guess this is useless."
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Backhands
Backhands him one time, doesn't say anything, and they're like, well,
We invented tasers. There are testicles and tasers.
yeah, no.
There are levels we could go.
Well, they're worried because the last guy they tried to interrogate grabbed the gun and shot himself in the
How
head.
about
So
we scrap
Yeah.
his hands down?
they're not learning
Why don't we
quickly enough.
restrain the guy?
Just dire situation. Jack Bauer, the guy, a little
Yeah.
bit. That's all I'm asking.
No, but they just start. They go somewhere to do research. Just like, we got to find this. They start just calling around. Like, are you the warehouse? No. Okay, bye. But the truck is rolling up into the factory now, filled with barrels of either dude or dynamite.
Oh, and Rutger Hauer has successfully Cape Feared his way onto the bottom of the truck
Yes,
and ridden there the entire way.
right.
Yeah.
They get past the guards and then go in and start unloading the barrels, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Rucker Hauer keeps hiding under the truck until eventually there's just one dude left, the driver.
Of the truck, yeah.
Yeah, and he just unhitches the back of the truck, and as the guy's driving off, and he's like, the driver stops, and like, what the shit? And that's...
Yeah, by the way, Rucker Hauer would probably be crushed if he was still under there, because they don't typically...
Yeah.
Yeah.
The front does not
yeah.
support itself.
No, unless you put the thing down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the guy probably would have noticed that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking.
But driver gets a good off-screen kick to the face.
Oh, yeah, he does.
And,
And then he
Yeah.
steals the truck.
Yeah. And he's just driving the truck around the factory.
Now, we've been given the information from the house where somebody runs in about, like, they rented an armored car this week. I don't know where you rent an armored car, but I guess you can.
Yeah. Because then, like...
Sure.
Because he runs up on two guards, and they're just like, hey. And he just, like, takes them both out immediately because they're just like, what do you do? Ah! So,
I also like that they're smoking right in front of the no smoking
sign, and
in front- like with the chemical barrels in the background.
Hey, man, they are the law there.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
are the security guards.
yeah. So he, like, knocks them out, takes their guns, and then immediately is when the armored car, which we just learned about 10
Right.
seconds earlier, just busts through the gates with just shooting from behind, just
Yeah.
shooting anything they can shoot.
Yeah, they actually were able to rent the armored car that has like the gun slits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
Hey, sometimes you just need one.
hey, it's Bobby's.
don't ask any questions.
Bobby's exotic car rental.
You shooting a
whatever you
movie?
want.
Hey, it's L.A.
Listen, I've been to U-Haul. As long as you have a deposit,
Yeah.
they don't give a shit.
No, they don't.
They're like, you want a dolly with that, too? Yeah. It'll help you move all them guns. Be way easier with the dolly.
One more guy will help you lift all that shit into the truck, you know.
Mario ain't doing nothing.
He's got a
Sits over
brother.
there.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
barrels, too?
Oh, I know a guy.
barrels.
I know a
Shit is
fucking guy
heavy.
for barrels.
What, you got a terrorist in there?
He'll throw those fucking barrels right in the fucking truck.
Uh-huh.
Used to chuck them at princesses. He got 10 years in the pen for that.
He's out now. He's a good guy.
He's good. Yeah,
He's got a kid. He's got a kid.
He's got a
He's
kid.
changed his way.
He's got a
He
big
really
hide.
calmed down after the kid.
He got
You
into
should see this
he
guy.
got into racing. You know, he went out to the country for a while. Got into
got-
racing.
Respectable. Wears a tie everywhere.
All the fingers, all the pies. He's got all these jobs.
But yeah,
He
that's-
does whatever.
He decided to start wearing a tie with his monkey suit.
That's how Gene Simmons got the truck.
Yes.
Yes.
And see.
from
Telling you.
all of that happened.
It's in the extras on the DVD.
Yes, it is.
It seemed they had to cut it for time.
Like you do, yeah.
But yeah, so Rucker Hauer has to hop in the semi and chase down this truck.
Yeah.
Which, being an '80s action movie, they shoot everything but the driver's side of the vehicle.
Well, he's right up on him.
yeah,
I mean, they can't get a good shot up.
yeah, and
'cause
he's
the grill
ramming
is-
it. Yeah, he's ramming it, and Gene Simmons' girlfriend, which we haven't even mentioned.
No, we
up
did.
until this. We did. Yeah, well,
Yeah, but she doesn't matter.
yeah, she doesn't do much, but she's the one driving, and she's apparently gonna ram all the cops.
Yeah.
and Gene Simmons is like, "No, turn,
Right.
turn," and she won't do it. She's like, "No, this is how we want to go out."
Right.
And he's like,
no.
actually, nah. Listen, I like saying all this stuff,
Yeah.
and I like when you guys do it.
I don't really want to be doing any of it.
Yeah,
I'll push the little clicky thing and watch things blow up, but really, I
Yeah.
don't want to get my hands dirty. I'm kind of Gene Simmons over here.
yeah, pretty much. So he shoots her in the head,
Yeah.
and then starts driving the truck.
And at one point, windshield wipers her brains off the side window.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah.
see how it's just gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they eventually collide.
Yeah, he Rucker somehow gets around them and broadsides the vehicle.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the
he
two
took
guys
fork
hop
and
out,
yeah.
gun up the front, and he's just like, "Aren't you done?" And then shotguns them both.
Right.
Gets out and he's like, "Oh, this gun looks cool."
Yeah, he
So he's-
upgrades.
Yeah. And then it's a brief stalking through the factory scene, which, we love our factories, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's very much oh, there's Gene Simmons over there. Oh, I could probably shoot him, but nah, I want to get closer to shoot him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sets up a little ruse where, he puts his knife in the gun and has it start going off. And Simmons throws a grenade.
And God, we were hoping it was the harmonica jammed into the trigger.
We kept waiting for it to play some part in this final battle.
Because they made he made such a point of putting it in his pocket when he left his boat.
He put it in the Ziploc bag when he went, to sneak
Right.
off swimming, and then the girlfriend gave it to him, like, make sure you take this.
Yeah.
And
And he's
we're
like, oh, right, yeah. He
Yeah.
puts it in his pocket. So we're like, this is coming back.
Yeah,
He's
of
going to
course.
kill someone with this harmonica.
It's Chekhov's harmonica.
Yeah. But no, he doesn't.
No.
No.
They get into a fight.
They do. Not much. I mean, he pretty much kicks Gene Simmons' ass.
Well, Gene Simmons is just immediately just like, kill me.
Yeah.
Please release me
Finish
from
the
this
job
world.
from 78. Come
Yeah.
on, just do it.
it.
I'm here. Kill
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. And he's like, nah, I'm just
Yeah,
going to
and
punch
he's
you
like, I'm a
lot."
soldier. I deserve to die honorably.
Yeah.
All that. And
Nope.
he's like, nah, you're a fly on a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And stuffs his mouth full of grenade that he had hanging on his jacket the entire time.
Yeah. Now, before we get to the
I
little
wish
final...
I could, man, anybody could get fucking grenades in the 80s.
They were everywhere. You had to fight the commies with them.
Yeah.
I wish I had been of grenade age in the 80s.
Fucking hey, Wolverines, man.
It was because of Grenada. There were
Yeah.
so many leftover ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were
There was a
literally
surplus.
growing on trees in Grenada, and it was just like, here, everyone gets a grenade.
Moment of silence for General Norman Schwarzkopf, who brought all the grenades from Grenada.
Exactly. But okay, so before we get to the final scene, like when he's driving through the warehouse in the truck, some of the barrels, some of them are detonating and going off, and some of the, like when the armored truck passes by, they will hit the horn, and that's the signal for the dudes to pop out and start shooting. Well, at one point, Rucker Howard just plows right through a bunch of barrels like a bowling alley, and one dude is actually out shooting, and man, he just it's that guy with the set, and the barrel's just rolling, and the guy's in it, and runs that guy over.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. They have some good dummies in this,
yeah, it's
or stuntmen who died. Because the last stuntman or dummy, holy shit, the shot that comes up after this.
Yep. Yeah, but so he puts the grenade in his mouth, and then you're kind of like, oh man,
Yeah.
what's he gonna do?
Well, because the whole
And
time,
then-
like he's saying, "Kill me," he's like, "No,
No,
nah,
I'm not gonna.
nope."
No, but then he puts a grenade in his mouth, and you're
does.
like, wow, is he gonna like chuck him off something with the
Yeah.
grenade, and he's gonna blow up in midair or whatever? And no, he's parading him outside.
Yeah, he's leading
the
him
cops.
with the
Yeah.
Like through the smoke and the flames, and
Yeah.
everybody's like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck? He's still alive?" And
yeah, and he's got the guy. Holy shit, we
Yeah.
probably should have left him alone. But yeah, he comes out and he's just like, here's your guy. Where's my money? He's like, oh,
Yeah, and
Oh yeah,
Deep Throat's like, where do I send the check?
Yeah,
Rah.
why don't you send it to? And then he takes like the longest. He goes like Mark Wahlberg in Boogie Nights when he does that, where he just goes off into space for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This was weird because it's a good 20 seconds before he finishes his sentence, because he's send the check to, and then he stops and waits, and then he says, the widow of Danny, whatever. And Guy's like, yeah, all right.
Okay.
they were actually writing out the cue cards off camera.
Right.
Yeah, and
Wait,
he-
what?
What was that guy's name? My best friend,
Danny.
Danny. Yeah.
He's like, I'll be by later to pick up my bonus.
Yeah, and he goes, then I'll take the bonus for myself.
Yeah.
And then
He takes one step and then he like turns back and he's like, "You know what? Fuck the bonus."
Pulls
Pulls the pin. Now, the second in command to Deep Throat is standing like right there, and the look on his face is kind of priceless because he's like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah. Dudes just go whoosh. And then there's a shot of just dude standing there.
Gene Simmons.
Yeah. And top half just boom.
Yeah.
And
Good
then
effect. I like it.
just body falling backwards.
Yeah. Dummy gets that top half of its shit blown up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, unless you're going frame by frame, that's a pretty good cut to explosion.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, holy fuck. He just blew that guy up.
Well, there is a good reaction, and there's a good pause before he blows up because everyone's like, oh fuck, and runs, and then it's like everyone's just kind of standing like 30 yards away from him.
Was there like half a second of Gene Simmons going?
Yeah,
there's because he's like kind of look around going, oh fuck,
Yeah.
and then cut to Dummy exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just kind of goes down this hill full of gravel, pulls out his harmonica, which comes back up, and just goes to trying to play "You Are My Sunshine," basically.
Yeah.
And then credits over top of that.
Yes. And then it tries to get a little more jaunty because that's a total bummer of an ending.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we were all just kind of like, man, that was awesome. And then after that, it's just kind of like, oh,
yeah.
I guess all his friends are dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because eventually he stops playing and just lays back, just hands over his face. It's just like, wow, his whole world is destroyed. He is not coming back from this. But yeah, so the music is kind of like, hey, you had fun, right? Watching this movie? Here's some hot harmonica music from our resident harmonica guy.
From Chappie
Harmonicist.
or whatever
Corky.
his name- Corky.
Corky
That was his
Siegel.
name.
And man, that guy fucking jams over the closing credits. I mean, like the trumpet player for American Ninja, he's
Yeah.
just like, this is my shot. I'm going for it. And he just... as much as you can go for it with a harmonica, he fucking goes for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what plays us out.
Yep.
The end.
Then we rate it, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what we do at the end, right?
I believe so.
Sure.
I'll go. I haven't gone first in a while.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this, despite the fact that like it has some tonal issues here and there. Like it is kind of a bummer ending, so it can't possibly go to 5 jocks because of that ending and other issues along the way. There's some decent explosions. There's one where it looks like we're being set up for like this giant fucking barrel explosion, like because like I said, we have these mysterious is it full of dynamite or terrorist barrels. And there's a point where they're just kind of shooting at the terrorists in the barrels. And we're like, no, guys, some of those are loaded with dynamite.
Some of those should be painted red.
Yeah.
And there's an explosion, and then it kind of cuts away. Like I'm thinking like it didn't go off like they wanted it to, and they're like, get sort of the flash, but then it's disappointing or something happens. I don't know, but I'm torn because like my part of me wants to say 4 jocks because like there's a lot of really good stuff in it, but I think I can only give it 3.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a bummer ending, and I mean, there's so many good things that I'm like teetering on the edge. But I think 3 is the best I can do. 3 jocks.
I think I can agree with you. Give it a 3. Aside from the tonal issues, there's just weird like this movie takes a long time setting up Rutger Hauer's character, like a really long time, and it's not really setting anything up. It's just sort of him like sitting or looking at things. Like his tour of his Batcave takes forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it doesn't have to take this long to show all this stuff. You know, like he didn't need to hit himself in the face with the basketball. It's just, I don't know. I just never got a sense of this dude. He kind of seemed like he didn't give a shit about anything up until the point where the boat blew up. And even then, he was just sort of like, well, I'm going to finish this. And then...
We had one line like when he's laying in the back of Guillaume's car. He's just like, oh, it hurts.
Yeah.
It's like this thing called emotion. So I've previously not given a shit about anything in my life.
It's like, what is happening?
I hate the feels so much.
Right. Yeah, so I think I do like it. I think it's very competent. It does what it tries to do very well. It just feels like there's about 20 minutes in there of wandering or looking at things where it's just like, okay, this we could probably do without this. But for something that at this point before I was really not even much aware of, it kind of holds up. I mean, it's a recommendable movie, I think.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing I want to mention, and sorry to hijack anybody, but no pun intended. We didn't mention like Robert Guillaume like going into kind of like a full ensign mode there for a little while. Like when he first finds out that like or he thinks that Rutger Hauer's dead, there's a few minutes where it's like he is just exasperated to the point of just fuck.
Oh yeah, when he's storming off the pier and like pushing guys out of the way, he's just like, God damn it!
Yeah, I mean, just to the point that like we need more angry Robert Guillaume in movies, forever. So
everything he does in the third
movie.
act is great.
Yes, yeah, he's really good.
Because that God damn it he gives after he gets blown up is so good. Because it's one of those with the T in it. You know, it's God damn it.
Yep.
But then he's just pissed at everybody. But yeah, I agree with 3 jocks. I wish there was more Gene Simmons that isn't just him looking at people going, hey, look, I made this bomb. And he's like, that bomb is the bomb. Love it. You know, I mean, that's all he does. And the whole I hate Rutger Hauer thing never shows in him or anyone around him. It's all told to us by Deep Throat and everybody else.
Well, he never even gives the order. It's not like you see him on camera like, go.
Well, yeah, there's one point where he's just like, where they show him photos of Rutger Hauer because he's checked out the scene at the theater, and then he's like, it's him. We'll kill him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just kind of like that's all it's left at, you know.
But in a movie like this, what you need that dude to do is like, he's got his mission of blow everything up, but you kind of need him going off on this side trail of, oh, it's him, the guy who left me alive in Beirut. I got to focus on killing him, and everyone needs to be like, no, dude, you need to focus on blowing up the chemical plant. And he's like, leave me alone, you know, but he just never goes that.
Yeah, that's the sort of shit that CinemaSins would be like, no, this is the stupidest thing. But it's the sort of stuff that makes you enjoy the movie more.
Yeah.
You know, because as it feels like the two of them don't really have personal stakes. Everyone just tells us they do.
Right.
But it never feels like they do.
Exactly.
But it's still, there's some fun to be had in this, and, you know, Rutger Hauer's pretty good.
A rare hero role.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a lot of those.
Yeah, we've had a few movies that he is,
Yeah,
but they're
but-
just not his best ones.
No.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that harmonica, my God, like it's just over everything. There's a harmonica shadow over the movie.
It's like a character.
It kind of is.
It's like another character in the movie.
Yeah, yeah. I wish the ending had let us just be like, fuck yeah, he just blew that fucker up and said, fuck the bonus.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yep.
And yet we're all just in stunned silence afterwards, which is kind of like not what you want from a scene like that.
Yeah.
So, but still, 3 jocks. It's pretty good. I liked it.
I'm gonna have to agree. I just have this much better vision of the ending of that movie, and you can't leave it like that. Either you got to do the crane zoom away, or something like him just walking away and pulling out the harmonica and wheedling on the harmonica a little bit, and then boom in the background and fucking credits, and we're done and we move on.
Yeah.
But otherwise, 3 jocks, pretty solid. Guillaume, god damn it. I mean,
Yes.
We need more Robert Guillaume.
yeah. Maybe
He's
just
great.
a movie that's like a million Robert Guillaumes.
He's in that prison movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I think it's Death Warrant is the one he's in.
Okay,
So,
let's watch that.
okay.
Maybe a movie where it's just like,
Guillaume Temper.
yes. Where it's just like,
It'll be Guillaume week.
yeah. Old Guillaume week. No, a movie that's just all Robert Guillaumes.
Like Multiplicity, but with
Yeah,
Robert Guillaume.
yeah.
Okay.
Only
Okay.
they don't get stupider; they just get more angry.
Being Robert Guillaume.
Yes.
So each copy is just an angrier version.
Yes, it's we could call it Copy Cops. Write that movie.
We'll put it in the notebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's take a break, shall we?
All right.
Okay.
Well, all right then.
That's one way to put it.
Man, I didn't realize Benson ran till 1986.
Yeah.
That show was on a long time.
Long time.
And that was a spinoff of Soap, right?
Soap.
Yeah.
Yep. I just always figured Benson was like, like late 70s, and then it ran into like 80 or 81 or something.
No,
Yeah.
that thing ran forever.
I had no idea.
I believe he eventually became governor.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he ran against the dude that he worked for, and then
I'd vote for Robert Guillaume.
me too.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Nope.
I'd vote for him.
Yes. Guillaume, 2014. Guillaume
I don't know if he wants any.
and footballer
Right
Jake
now.
Delhomme. And he was in The Lion King. How can you not like that?
I saw that in the theater.
Did you?
Right, I told you.
Have you ever seen a Broadway show?
Oh, dude, he's in Robert Townsend's Meteor Man.
Oh, yeah, he is. That's right.
Isn't he his dad?
Maybe. I don't know. Robert Guillaume. Meteor Man.
Yeah, he is. Oh,
Meteor Man's all right.
yeah.
Better than Blank Man.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, how did we not say Star Monica?
God, and I brought that up too.
Yeah.
Hargrove. Wait, he was in Spy Hard? What?
Yeah. He's kind of playing the same role in Spy Hard.
Oh, Jesus, Spy Hard.
He's in the one scene that actually made me laugh in Spy Hard.
Really?
Like Leslie Nielsen walks up to him in the bar. It's like, "Hey," and then they go, "Hey," and then they sit down in the bar, and he goes, "We go way back," and then the flashback cuts to 10 seconds earlier where they go, "Hey." It's the only joke in that movie that made me laugh. The rest of the movie's terrible.
Oh. He's in First Kid with Sinbad. Oh. And Timothy Busfield. Oh. So we're not going to watch much Robert Guillaume in the future, are we? First Kid.
Is he still with us? I know he had a stroke.
He is still alive. yes.
Okay. Because he had a stroke during sports night,
Yeah.
which was hard to watch.
Mm. Yeah, we don't want to go too far into his... Man, he was in Half-Life 2. That's right, he was Dr. Eli Vance.
Oh, man.
Forgot about Dr. Eli Vance.
Yeah. Oh, we just confirmed Half-Life 3.
Yeah, they better make Half-Life 3 before...
Yeah, you got to get your Guillaume on.
Man, because... Well... We never did find out what happened after. Half-Life 2 Episode 2 ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And that was, what, 7 years ago now?
Wow, yeah.
8 years?
8, yeah.
God.
2006, I want to say.
What the hell were they thinking, man?
They're making so much money.
Yeah.
Doing nothing.
I know.
Selling
You know
other
what?
people's stuff.
Then just put some money into it and fucking make it.
At this point, what...
You don't even have to satisfy... Like, you can
What
make
good is it at
whatever
this
the
point?
fuck you want.
Who is that game for at this point?
Yeah, and that's the problem with Valve too. Is like because they don't publicize whatever their structure is. Like you don't even know who's responsible for the writing of it or any of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I need water. Ah, my ears.
I've been having to fight, like walking over and picking that up and putting it
What?
in. Step up 4.
Don't put that in yet.
Dude,
sitting in my
you
fucking
cannot
house.
watch Step Up.
That is
Revolution.
our movie.
I
Don't
know,
you
but
dare.
Do you realize how much I want to fucking watch that?
Do you realize how much we all want to fucking watch it?
Just watch it.
Did I watch Pacific Rim in 3D in the theater?
I think.
No.
Okay.
No. We didn't see it in 3D.
I'm gonna give it a.
Well, okay, I went back and saw it.
Okay. Yeah, because we did not. Our group showing, we did not.
I saw it in 3D that year. So must have been the second showing.
See, do I have movies? No, I don't.
Superfly TNT? Is that bad enough blaxploitation that we could work that in?
What?
Superfly TNT? That qualify for blaxploitation history month?
Ah, that movie's terrible.
Is it?
Yeah. Both
Aw.
Superfly movies are not what you want.
Yeah.
Not what you want.
Same soundtrack.
Soundtrack's fine.
Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah.
What?
Say Rick Springfield?
I said Curtis Mayfield.
Oh.
No, he was pointing. Loki was pointing out where Robert Guillaume was in Superfly TNT.
Oh. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
No.
Fine, Chuck.
Good.
Fine.
Fine.
So you guys got movies to discuss?
Nope.
Do we have any voicemails? How much?
No.
Or emails?
Yep.
No. Okay, then I
Nope.
guess
Not
I
gonna
can.
bother with
emails?
it this week.
I guess I can discuss a movie.
Wait.
There were a couple, but it's not worth reading this week. They're real short, and they're just kind of like, "Hey, man, I recommended this one thing, and here's more evidence to why shit." It's basically when people send us YouTube clips a lot of the time,
Oh,
Wow.
and it's like, "Hey, man, like you really need to watch this,"
Right.
And it's like,
We can't really read that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I should reply to those emails, but I just don't.
Well, that's fine. I mean,
Like that one guy that wanted
we're
us
not saying
to-
don't send us stuff because we'll watch it.
Yeah,
or
sure,
whatever.
absolutely. I mean, we need...
Yeah, like
visual
that one guy that
aids.
wanted us to
Motivation.
watch Bolero, but he wanted us to watch it during August, and I was like, "No, it's August. Like
Yeah.
this is no."
Fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't you ever email us again? You son of a- God damn it!
Blocked and reported.
God damn it!
I think this account has been compromised.
Flagged as spam.
I've already muted you on Twitter.
The worst.
Man, I unfollowed a bunch of people today. God, it felt good.
Yeah?
Why'd you do that?
I'm not gonna lie. I actually just started muting people now that you can.
Nah. I wanted them to know
Do you? Okay.
that
This is a
eventually
personal reflection upon you.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
eventually they're gonna find out. They're gonna be like, "Wow, that's
Unless it's literally like one of those like I follow 40,000 people and have 40,000 followers, or it's
Yeah.
like some business I couldn't give two shits about. I just follow everybody now and then give them a chance and then mute otherwise.
Give him a chance.
I do. Like I mean, if like my feed.
You gotta
got
fucking
one
impress
shot.
me.
I
just-
unfollow them.
I'm sorry, but, like,
you got to clean your shit up. I'm
Yeah.
not muting you. I'm not letting you think you keep what you're doing is right.
Internet.
I unfollow your
the
shit.
fastest thing you can do to get me to unfollow / mute you is automatic post from anything.
Oh,
I will
Jesus.
fucking. That will get you muted immediately.
Like-
and that's all you do. Like just Foursquare check-ins or
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the old
yeah.
thing, but
Foursquare.
My Twitter account is worth blah blah blah.
Yeah,
It's,
okay.
Follow me. I took this quiz and now you can too, and those kind of bullshit things. Like just like linking your Twitter account to some bullshit website.
Yeah, and I think one of the worst things is when people will just post a Facebook link with no context, where you could just see the link and that's all it is. It's like, no, I'm not clicking on your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes through to the link, but
Yeah.
you don't even get the commentary that they were giving. Yeah, that's There are a few that are incredibly guilty.
So
of
I'm just
that.
saying, like that's the biggest thing to me. I'm not trying to tell you
That reminds
Twitter
me, there's
etiquette.
somebody I meant to unfollow that forgot. Thanks, guys.
Strike fury
Yeah.
to the hearts.
Well, there's somebody
non-believers.
There's somebody that posts automatically from has their Tumblr post automatically to Twitter, but they have all their stuff queued to all feed in
At once?
At once.
Oh,
so I
fuck
get like
that.
30 fucking tweets from this nerd.
Giant Bomb does that, and I will never understand that. They have like one time a day when all their feed goes out onto Twitter, like all their news stories. It's like, spread that
Yeah.
shit out. I'll follow it but the wall of tweets, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and some said like AV Club used to be really bad about like it's been 2 hours, we're reposting this.
Right.
It's been another 2 hours, we're reposting it. It's like, guys,
Guys,
don't. Bad.
do not.
Unfollowed.
Bad.
Do that.
No.
No.
All right, how about a second half? What do you say?
Nah.
What are we going to talk about?
Well, movies. I saw a 2007 movie.
Okay. That sounds good. Did I watch anything
Does it?
I can talk about?
Does it? I don't know about that.
Okay, we do have one email I'll read.
Fucking
Okay.
movie. Yeah, 2007.
It's a little bit long, but it's fine if it's the only one we got. That's worth going for.
How do I rate 247 followers? Jesus.
Dude, I have almost 500 people. I haven't figured it out either. And I did that thing that's like audits, and it's like, how many are real? And it said like 91%. I was like, 91% of people actually are real people following me? This is fucked up.
Yeah.
Who cares what I say? I say
I mean,
dumb
you do a
shit.
thing.
I do a thing.
Yeah.
I just, whatever.
Yeah, you just show up every few weeks, and they're
There's-
like,
yeah.
hey,
Yeah,
Twitter.
but you will
There's
say
no fucking reason
you
to
say
follow
one
me.
thing every 3 weeks, and everyone's like, "Oh, BJ's alive! Yay! It is funny." So everyone's like, "I wonder what he'll say next. I gotta be here for when it happens."
I
So
guess
that's what I
so.
need to do is just stop posting so often.
Well, you have
Just
to
be
you
like-
have to manage your engagement.
I think people don't
so you
realize
can
like
thrust your brand.
I think people don't realize how sarcastic most of my posts. Like Instagram, I have an Instagram that is
Oh, really?
literally only food. There's nothing else. My Instagram exists only for food, and it's like a bag of Skittles. It's like not even like real food.
It's like, I'm eating the Snickers
and-
bar.
I need to. Are you?
People don't get that. I'm like, no, this
You're
is
the same
point.
on Instagram, right? I got to follow.
I don't understand. Like people
I'm
are
trying this new thing. I'm posting Destiny screenshots at 5 a.m. and seeing how many,
I noticed
how many
that.
more people I can engage.
like
Yeah,
12
we
hours later. I'm
noticed.
like, oh, Harlow's up at 5 a.m. playing fucking Destiny.
I love all
I'm
the
taking
Twitter
dance-
tips we're giving people.
Yeah,
I'm taking dance screenshots
yeah, doing
at 5 a.m.
dumb shit. Look at me, I'm holding the globe.
Look, come on. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty clever.
you had to number yourself. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I know. I didn't.
Oh no,
Maybe it's imposter Mackie.
There's a few of them.
I don't.
I'm not. I haven't killed them all yet,
is
so
all
that
food,
some
that's
still
why.
exist.
I don't understand the people.
Some
using
live because they wouldn't give me their
Instagram.
password.
Well,
So-
sure. That's a
Once I
problem.
have it, then I can take the account over, and then I can eliminate them and not worry about it. But until then,
I don't understand.
Don't
the
worry,
people
I'm working
using
on getting rid of
Yeah.
imposter.
Instagram for like
I know. What?
actual. I don't understand the people using Instagram for like actual communication.
I
No, you're not supposed to communicate.
Well,
You're
that's
just
like
supposed
that-
to just
Like Ray Rice's wife, the story that came out
Oh,
today
yeah,
was
she
attributed to posting on Instagram. I'm like, who releases a statement on Instagram?
Ray Rice when he smacks the phone out of her hand.
Maybe,
and
but I mean,
posts-
just post a picture of your Christmas tree. Why? That's not what Instagram is for. You put that out on
It's
like
for
a
for
news
bags
wire.
of Skittles, and then you put a filter on it. So
I'm pretty
it
sure
looks
it took-
vintage.
I'm pretty sure I used my Instagram account and took one picture of my cat and then never touched it again and then signed in a year later and it's like your account's been banned for violating the terms. I was like,
you only posted one
Yeah, one
picture of your
cat.
cat. You got to post
Is that
more.
what it is?
You gotta once you post a cat.
Did you only have like 6 hashtags? Is that why?
No, I don't-
Like you need.
I
Its
don't know.
minimum
Yeah.
is 20.
Yeah.
I don't
20 hashtags per photo.
I'm trying
I use
to
like
remember.
9 filters on this. You got to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm trying
That's
to
what you got
remember.
to do.
Oh, I know what you did.
What?
You used a filter and you put no filter, didn't you?
I don't know.
You can't do
All right,
that.
whose phone is it?
Is that mine?
It's his.
Mine.
It's his.
Mine doesn't do that. I don't have that crappy edge bullshit you guys
Well,
have.
it just went away when you put your phone away.
An indictment.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
It's
Circumstantial.
Instagram's fault. I
Oh,
bet.
okay.
All right, there it is. Full circle. All right, let's finish this.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Who else has a
Finish the
movie?
fight.
Anyone?
I watched Detention
Okay.
Gravity.
again.
All right. That's it. Me
Yeah,
and
I got
VJ.
I'll mention it real quick.
All right.
Don't worry, it'll be
I got
quick.
it.
No.
Yes, it will. Trust me.
I don't trust you.
All right, welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast, second half.
Second half.
It's the half that we talk about movies,
Uh-huh.
except for this time.
It's the half with no aim. Because I don't know what we're going to talk about. I watched a random movie. BJ's watched a movie that we've all seen and talked about, so we don't know what we're doing.
All
I
right.
watched a movie.
Oh, okay. What movie did you watch?
I watched Detention the next night. It was 2 days of immersion.
Man.
Why didn't you watch it for 5 days?
I don't know, because
Loser.
I was busy. But no, my wife wanted to see it after we had talked so highly of it, and she really enjoyed it. So I'll keep her.
Another Detention fan.
Yeah.
Yay.
No, but it was interesting because she enjoyed it for all the scary movie type satirical parts. Like, she pointed out something I didn't realize is that basically Riley, the main character, is very much like Anna Faris's character in those movies, in that she is always falling down and getting injured.
Oh.
And I, would never have picked up on that because I think the scary movies are garbage. And I laughed once during the two I've seen. So,
Yeah.
But yeah. And
well,
I
that
love
carries
gore.
over from Scream, though, too. I mean, that's what I was getting at, is that Nev Campbell falls down, but somehow manages to kick the killer in the balls all the time, too. Like, everybody is clumsy, but somehow manages to do something that saves their life for some period of time.
Yeah, but they're usually
Yeah.
clumsy when they're under pressure, not like Riley, who's just walking through the cafeteria. And
Sure, yes.
Plop. But yeah.
Yes, plot.
And
Well, the
Gord-
killer in this in Detention also got kicked in the balls.
Yeah,
regularly, yeah.
that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was very much in the same
yeah.
frame.
And Gord is awesome. I'm going to start telling people silence is compliance for everything.
It's true.
Yeah.
Kind of is.
But I really did enjoy that just as much the second time, and the plot felt more cohesive the second time.
Yeah.
Like everything, we were talking about how zany and crazy it is, but the plot actually does follow a very direct line through it.
I just don't think we were ready.
No, I mean, you don't know what you're in for.
No, you don't.
Unless someone tells you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish someone had told me, because I think I would have had even more enjoyment out of the first time. I almost did the next night, and then I was like, it really. I don't know why I was just fixated on that movie immersion thing, and I was like, I was sorry. I was trying
It
to.
feels like a commitment if you're going to do it for 5 nights in a row.
Here's where I came down on it, and I was like, I could take my favorite movies of all time. I don't know that I could watch Raising Arizona 5 days in a row. And that's pretty much my favorite movie of all time. And I think by the 5th day, I'd be like, damn it. Like, just any movie I love, I think about that. And it's just like, I don't know if I could do it with anything. And that's not a condemnation on Raising Arizona or any other movie. It's just, I think that would be terrible. It would be like a torture thing after a certain period of time.
Yeah.
Almost make you maybe not want to like the movie. Like kind of like when you overhear a song, like the first time you're like, fuck yeah, this song. And then like it's on the radio all the time. You're like, fuck this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if you just look at it as an in-depth analysis of the subject.
So I think spread out over more than 5 days. I mean, I've seen Raising Arizona 20, 30, 40 times in my life, but it's not 5 days in a row. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, take notes.
Maybe.
Make it like a science experiment.
Okay.
But yeah, I liked it just as much. I just noticed
Sure.
a lot of things that I would be looking for at that time.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I felt like if I would do it the next day, I'd be tempted to do the 5 day thing. And I don't know if I was ready to do that, especially with that movie.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
love that she's a vegetarian who is only ever pictured eating meat throughout the entire movie because she's been forced to give up on it.
So, BJ,
Yes.
what did you see?
I saw a movie.
Was it heavy?
Well, I mean, it does tend to sort of make things heavy, I
Oh.
guess. Yeah. It was kind of heavy, actually, now
Yeah.
that I think about it. No, I watched Gravity.
Hey, that's a Golden Jocks winner.
Yeah. It's, Gravity is the kind of movie that makes me go turn my air conditioner off so that I can more fully experience it. Like, I turned lights off in the house, I turned the air conditioner off. I made sure that there were no noise. I was going to do laundry, and I was like, nope, not going to do that. It requires you to listen. It almost demands that you listen to it. The sound design and sound editing in that movie is, with a couple teeny tiny exceptions, perfect. And that's just that's just one kind of small part of that movie. It's fantastic. I don't know how someone in this day and age could actually make a 90-minute movie, but I'm so thankful that it happened. Like it's a movie that does not have any fluff or pomp. It just moves through the story that they want to tell, and it's fucking brilliant. It's beautiful. Future ex-wife Sandy Bullock is amazing. The science is, until the plot demands it, really pretty good. Like there's some stuff obviously that has been nitpicked to death that is, fine, okay, we understand that actually the orbit of the space station is different. Okay, fine. But there are certain things you have to do to get the plot across and to sort of move things.
Yeah, if movies were realistic, there would be no movies.
There'd be no movies. Yeah.
And they do enough
right.
world building that you just like, all right, yeah, that wouldn't work. Even though it would, or that, I guess this is happening because fuck.
Yeah.
As opposed to, well, it wouldn't happen because of the orbital blah, 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 that bullshit.
There isn't much that seems that implausible when you're in the moment of the movie.
Yeah.
They do a good enough job of that. I was talking to Mackie about it earlier via instant message, and like I think if most directors would have had this movie, it would have been 3 hours long, and it would have included a long love story side plot, or the love story would have been the main plot of the movie, and we also would have had 40 minutes of nerds at Houston crunching numbers and running, and you'd have had what's his name?
Ed Harris,
yeah, we'd have had 40 minutes of Ed Harris standing there looking concerned, and that's great in Apollo 13. But for this movie, it's just so, for as heavy as it is, it moves gracefully and swiftly through the plot, and I really enjoyed it. I wanted to watch it in 3D because the latest PlayStation 4 update, has given us the capability of watching movies in 3D, and I have a third dimensional television. But it was not available in the reddest of boxes as 3D, and I did not know that our friend and hero Harlow had a 3D copy. But
I have one, but I don't know where it is.
Right.
Because I don't know where any of my stuff is anymore.
That's because you live in an actual physical hell now.
Yeah, okay.
You make some points.
Things happen.
But
we're making it work.
Yeah, Gravity is wonderful. Just fucking awesome. Like, and to touch on the sound real quick again, like everybody knows, like there's no sound in space. And apparently in the trailer, like I don't remember it, but apparently in the trailer they made a whole shitload of sound.
Yeah,
and it's not like that. They did not do that. There's some sound for, like, I don't remember a part when the camera was in space, that they made an improper sound. They did a lot of like little teeny tiny touches that I really enjoyed. Like you could hear them grabbing things and moving things.
Right.
Over the microphone,
Or like the great big air wrench.
like
vibrating
you
through
could,
the suit.
yeah, you could.
Yeah, like when you're in the suit with the character, you can hear the vibration of something they're doing,
Yeah. But you can also hear it theoretically. I mean, it's supposed to be over their microphone because during space missions, actual space missions, they do hear that stuff over the astronauts' microphones because it vibrates through their body and into the microphone. So there were a lot of little touches and details that they did really, really well for that movie, and I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get to see it on an enormous IMAX 3D screen.
Yeah.
But I will watch it again in 3D at some point. Just not, maybe not. I might not watch it 5 days in a row. But
come on.
I don't know. I like it right now. I like it too much to
ruin it by
right,
watching it again.
Yeah, I don't want to just immediately sully this, this feeling that I got for the movie. So I'm going to be watching some 3D movies over the next unspecified amount of time because I can do that. So expect to hear about Pacific Rim in 3D and Step Up 3D in 3D again.
Yay.
That was pretty good in 3D.
Yeah, it was.
I want to watch that again.
things.
And perhaps other things.
And the neck thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, and that's it. That's all I really watched, except for some inconsequential television.
Cool.
Great. I love that network.
Yeah, it's good. I like that one.
It's called Netflix.
So I watched. I'll touch briefly on my recent Netflix expeditions. I watched them. I basically just want to put it out there. Like, if you haven't seen it in some time, watch Bloodsport, because that movie is fucking awesome, and it's on Netflix in HD now.
Ooh,
Nice.
So that movie rules, and you should watch it. That's my entire review. I also
All right.
I decided to come.
Bloodsport.
I decided to come back around and watch Predator 2 because it had been a very, very long time. And I know that we had this discussion semi recently, and I was like,
Yeah, where Chuck was wrong.
I need to watch Predator 2 again because I hated Predator 2 in '91 or whatever the video came out.
1990.
No, I know that's when the movie came out. I'm saying by the time video was out or whatever. It's not as bad as I remember. There's actually a lot of potentially good stuff in that movie, and Danny Glover doesn't ruin the movie as much as I remembered him ruining the movie. But I do like, who was it that was like 98% signed to do the movie?
I believe
Patrick
it was
Swayze.
Patrick
Patrick Swayze. God, like I want to see that version. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see somebody that would be slightly more convincing, being somebody that could take on the Predator. Like, Danny Glover's a big dude, and they do a pretty good job by the end of like making him look pretty buff and like ready to actually fist fight the Predator.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, you can't shake Lethal Weapon Danny
Yep.
Glover out of your head,
That's what I was about to say.
and it's like, because he is a big guy, but and
He's
like,
a gentle giant.
yeah, and but you
but
can't,
even when he was young, he looked old.
yeah, and you can't shake. I'm too old for this shit. Lethal Weapon, which 3 years earlier,
Yeah.
and I think we already had a sequel by the time
Yep.
Predator 2 came out.
Yep.
And so that's like, I mean, he does pretty good in it, but it's just like it's hard to buy it by the end.
You're saying Danny Glover is not a convincing enough actor to make
Acting wise, fine. I'm saying like by the end when he's like looking like John McClane down to his wife beater T-shirt, it's like, you're gonna go mano a mano with the Predator
Yeah.
here.
When he started gearing up to do that, I was like, no, I don't buy this. This
Yeah.
is no.
I mean, there's like the way the ending is shot is pretty fucking awesome. Like, I like how it almost like shot for shot goes by a lot of things of the original Predator, and I didn't remember that, like how many beats there are that are kind of the same, like where his friends kind of are getting picked off, like Dutch's crew.
Yep.
Obviously, there's not as many, but like by the end, it's like I don't remember the. I know there's a long period from the time like he's like, okay, I understand the mud thing, the Predator can't see me, it's time to fucking take the fight to him in the original Predator. But like, I think this was even longer when it was like, I know what he is, I know where he's going, I know he gets like kind of picked off by Gary Busey's crew there for a little bit and kind of like interrupts the chase. But like there's a long sequence. I mean, it's like it's a good like 20 to 25 minute sequence by the end of the movie where it's like everybody that matters is dead or out of the movie. It's time to take the fight to the Predator, and like I appreciate that. Like that's interesting to like have a third act that is solely like the hunt is on.
Yeah.
Which is how the first one was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like there's a lot to like about it. It's just Danny Glover kind of ruins it because of his image. I mean, just unfortunately.
Yeah. And what would you have thought if originally in the original script Gary Busey's part was Dutch from the original Predator?
No, I wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah. So you're glad it was somebody completely different.
Yes.
He wouldn't
Absolutely.
have been a suit. He wouldn't have come back and
No.
been this like.
Yeah.
He would
He would have been
that
pushing
guy.
pencils.
Yeah, I mean, they changed the script, obviously.
Sure.
But that was the original script, was they wanted Arnold to reprise his role as that. And it's like, But yeah.
Arnold
I
is in a cave
probably-
somewhere, still freaking out.
Well, and I think if that had happened, the moment when you realize that the Predator can see all those dudes, and you're like, oh, these guys are going to get fucked up,
Yeah.
would be less awesome if it's like, no, he's going to kill Arnold now,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But at that point, when they're in that whatever it is, a meat packing plant, you're just like, yeah, Let's fucking kill off some dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like they could have had the lady back as like an advisor. She could have been in the truck. I would
Sure.
have been okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, the only other survivor.
Yeah.
The original one. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you couldn't kill Arnold. That would ruin everything, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I'm just thinking, like he couldn't have been Gary Busey's character, but he might have been like Adam Baldwin's character. He would have had to survive again. And also realize that they set up a really great fucking prequel movie that should have been Predator 3. Is I want to see the 1715 blunderbuss gun battle guy with that earned the Predator's respect or whatever, where they had this, and I was like, whatever the fuck that is, I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the time, and even now, audiences would have been like, no.
Oh no, but I
But
don't know.
it would have been great.
Yeah, like I mean, just I'm thinking like Assassin's Creed like 4, like in the Caribbean in the jungles or whatever, but with like pirate ships and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
I'd even watch like a weekly Predator series, just a different time
Yeah.
each time. You don't have to spend a lot of...
Yeah. I keep wanting to go back to Predators. Because, I mean, I was like, I was all right with it. I had problems, but I was like, I didn't hate that. But it was not what I wanted. Like, you know, because it's that case of all these things where it's like you have enough time to build up a sequel in your head.
Yeah.
So whatever happens is not going to live up to it. And I don't know. I mean, I think that movie has its charms, but I think it lost its way a lot. And, you know, and the same thing with like the original Alien vs. Predator, which I know is terrible because of so many things it fucks up, where it's like you had the perfect template in those comics and you just threw it in the trash.
Yeah,
Which-
and even the sequel, which would like kind of righted the ship in the the rated R-ness of it, still. I mean, I guess they probably couldn't make the movie that was in the fucking comics. Is like what you want to see is Space Marines teaming with Predators to fight aliens.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what you want to fucking see.
Yeah.
But nobody seems to be willing to make Aliens, the movie Aliens, versus Predator.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and also it's like each of those movies, they whittle it down to one Predator quickly.
Yep.
Like that was the thing that pissed me off the most about Alien vs. Predator. That was like, all right, we got 3 Predators doing this. I'm like, 3, all right, cool. You know, you want like a dozen of them running around, but they're 3, and then it's like, all right, and they died like bitches in like 5 seconds.
Right.
So now there's 1.
They're bitch predators.
Yeah, they were. They just, don't even get me started.
Yeah.
There are a few things I fanboy out on more than those types of movies, and that was like dissatisfying on every possible level. Not even using Lance Henriksen right. It's
I'd forgotten that Bill Paxton was in Predator 2, which is
Yeah.
now funny that he's in the Alien and Predator Part 2 movies.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of goes out like a bitch, too. It's just kind of shitty.
Yeah.
well, doesn't he throw his coin or his marble at him?
Golf ball.
Yeah, it's a golf ball. I'm trying to remember now, but
Golf balls is his specialty.
yeah, but man, that right before that scene when they're on the subway, and everyone has guns at the same time.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, it has that kind of like that era of...
Oh, it was kind of RoboCop-y, where it was like,
Kind of, but-
here's the near future where shit has gone crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, because like that was 1990, and I watched Total Recall recently, which is 1990 also, and it that time period for action movies is when like other movies started making fun of action movies for being like really ridiculously over the top in terms of just like violence.
Oh, and that movie's violent as fuck.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's almost like the pinnacle of just like it's satire of itself, but also trying to be as violent as possible. We just got into a weird time where action movies just went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one just didn't go in the directions I wanted to.
There are things that like I would like to see a remake of Predator 2. Actually, I know that's really weird to say, but like there's a lot of potential in that movie.
Great idea. Great.
Because like I mean like the King Willie character is like presented as this enigma, and then like he shows up and you're
Yeah.
like fuck yeah, and then it's like
No killing what can't be killed.
and then like they're like have him fight him and just get his ass kicked off camera. And it's like what?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Just for these like
And
these
that-
two
and that's
gangs
kind
that
of
supposedly
pointless.
control the city, they both die.
And that
immediately.
scene's kind of pointless
Yeah.
too, because it's like we know the Predator's badass and can just wreck anything.
Yeah.
It's like, so yeah.
Yeah.
Why do it off screen and then cut?
Who knows?
I think they just enjoyed that cut that they used.
Sure.
That's
But again, too, 1990, man, Jamaicans were the most evil motherfuckers on the planet.
There was somebody in a studio like got sold bad weed or something because they were just like Jamaicans. Fuck
it's
those
like
guys.
holy, they're
made
the
no
new
sense.
commies. It's Jamaicans everywhere.
So I watched one other movie, and I hesitated to even bring this one up, because like I honestly don't know what my opinion is. And I'm also trying to remember the story of where I heard it at a convention during like there's someone like it was a bad movie panel, and somebody was asked what is the something about like somehow this movie stuck in my craw about like I need to remember this movie because
You
they
gotta
were
clean out your craw more often.
well, like lots of movies were tossed around, and Troll 2s and things like that. It was like yeah, blah blah blah. Like bad movies. Those.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bunch of bad movie news.
well, I'm just saying, like trolling the bottom 110 or 100 of the IMDb. It's like no surprise that like you're gonna whip out these movie titles here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, really, Manos? That's next. Okay,
Yeah.
Rotor. All right,
Ugh.
but So I mean, but this movie stuck in my head in this discussion. I was like, this sounds interesting enough that I need to see it because people were actually legitimately like most of them were like, oh. It was a panel where it was like, oh, that movie's so bad, haha, that's funny. And then this one came up and they were like trying to defend it. And I'm like, this sounds like the movie I need to see. Anytime somebody tries to defend a bad movie, that's the kind of movie I want to see because I feel like that's what we try to do half the time. Mm-hmm. Movie in question is a 2007 movie called Viva. And if you've never heard of it, I understand it's a super low budget, really bizarre little movie. The whole thing plays out. It's a faux. It's almost like a Beastie Boys 70s exploitation movie, like on purposely bad. Basically, it's about a bored housewife who like through really dumb circumstances, her husband, like they have a fight and her husband leaves. To, he might not come back, and she's like, I want to have adventures, so I think I'm going to go become a prostitute. And
As you do.
and then like. It's like this, like kind of like a weird jaunt through like 70s sexual revolution / but everything's like done in like intentionally cheesy ways, and like I almost don't know what my opinion of this movie is. Like it's really hard to explain, and it's really fucking long. It's like 2 hours on the dot, and like. But like by the time the movie's over, you're just like I feel like I've been watching this for 4 fucking hours. Like it's hard. It's just a very hard movie to explain because like there's only so much tongue-in-cheek, intentionally bad you can handle before it's like okay, I get it that you're doing stilted dialogue, and then in that like just strange movie kind of like almost like detention kind of way, not to really compare the two, but like just suddenly they'll have a musical number, like somebody will just start singing and it's in the movie. Like does it make sense? Is it happening? Like because there's a couple sequences where it's like it makes sense in the context of the movie. Like they're also they're talking to this guy that produces a little weird stage musical, so yes, they show you part of that, so that makes sense. It's in the context of the movie. Right. But then there's like one time where it's just like this is a straight up musical number. This is not actually happening. This is in the person's head. Yeah, I can't recommend it. I mean, if what I'm saying sounds like something that you're like, yeah, that's my kind of thing. Yes, go for it because it's super uber low budget. I mean, it's like written, directed, costume design, starring, editing done by like all the same lady, Anna Byler. So I think she's done other things, or Biller. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's like. She's like it's one of those where it's like every person that's in it is also like 3 different things behind the scenes. I just really I don't know why this was the movie out of everything they were talking about. They were like, no, this is a commentary on feminism, even though it's like very overtly 70s stereotypes of men are like, why aren't you in the kitchen naked and making me pies? And that kind of thing, and yes, it's directed by a female. But I don't know if that necessarily suddenly makes it like tongue-in-cheek feminism or something. I can't explain this movie, and I don't necessarily want to.
Yeah.
So it's just a thing I watched.
Okay.
Now I want to move on from it.
So not BMFcast material.
Too long? Too long. That's the thing. It's like I started and I was like, this might I watched it with some trepidation. I was like, I don't know, this might be BMFcasting. I was like, it is 2 hours long, but because the first scene is like kind of funny, like just how intentionally bad it is, like, and to the point that like it's done well enough for a little while where I'm like, I don't know if they know they're making it this bad, like. So,
Wow.
I give it credit for that. Where like some things like Rubber and whatever, and Hobo with a Shotgun and stuff. It's like, yeah, you're making bad on purpose. There were points in this where I'm like, I think they might be trying to play this serious.
Well,
Oh, that's the worst.
speaking
Also
of stuff that knows it's bad,
Oh dear.
may as well mention this.
Oh, go ahead.
Samurai Cop 2 Kickstarter. You know, they got Matt Hannon back. They announced Tommy Wiseau is going to be in Samurai Cop 2. Yeah. Red flags went up everywhere. Like, I think I'm out.
Yeah.
Even though that's one of those things like people are like, yeah, Tommy Wiseau is going to be in it. It's going to be, and it's like everyone that was listed as being in it is like Matt Hannon, Tommy Wiseau, and a bunch of porn actresses. And that's like, this is not going to go well.
No.
This is not going to work. Like, there's a reason we haven't done Birdemic 2 yet.
Yeah.
Because Birdemic 2, they were like, hey, remember how terrible Birdemic was? Guess what? We made another one, and it's probably going to be terrible, and we know it. And, like, that's exactly what this feels like now.
Well,
And I'm just, I hate prejudging things like this, but
Sure.
I have no optimism for this whatsoever now.
I wouldn't put money anywhere near it.
no, it'll get made. I mean, in the world of Sharknado, it'll get made. But
Yeah.
the charm of Samurai Cop is that director had no clue what he was doing. He thought he knew what he was doing, which is great when you think you know what you're doing, but you very clearly don't.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. But this is going to be made by people who are self-aware, who have seen Samurai Cop, and they're going to be attempting to make that.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's nothing good can come from that.
If Skynet has taught us anything, things becoming self-aware is always bad.
Yes, always bad. Always bad.
I thought Skynet was pretty cool.
Like, Tommy Wiseau was not self-aware making The Room. I'm sorry. I don't care what he has said in interviews after that. He thought he was making his Citizen Kane. He thought he was making just the best thing ever. And that dude was fucking clueless. Just totally clueless as to what an audience might want to see in a motion picture.
Well, and making movies. Like, he stacked cameras, just put them on top of each other.
Yeah.
I was like, well, we'll just use whichever one filmed right.
I'm supposed to be shooting with 2 cameras? Okay.
Yeah.
Clunk. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So you can't, I don't know. Yeah, when I heard that today, it was a major bummer. Not that I was super stoked before. I mean, look, I'm happy that Samurai Cop has become a thing. That's great. I'm glad we got to it before, it really became a rampant thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But okay, so the flip side of this is do we worry about something like Deadliest Prey? And I say no, because those people had history beyond that movie of this is what they made their entire lives, and they're just now like, they're like, oh, people like this? Okay, we'll revisit it.
Yeah.
I feel like Deadly Prey was not like one of those like gleefully ignorantly made. Like, it was kind of awesome and low budget, and they were like, we're gonna make the best fucking awesome low budget revenge flick we can make.
Yeah. Because those guys,
those guys were filmmakers. They knew, they may not have had budgets to make crazy, awesome stuff, but they understood how movies work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
yeah,
and
exactly. So
Yeah. So, I mean, good luck with your Kickstarter, but Jesus.
yeah, I mean, you want the movie made by people who are like, karate is awesome. Karate fucking rocks. Not people who are like, karate, am I right? And that's the difference.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. But I almost want to try and watch some of this guy's other movies, because this dude has made a few other things in the past, but...
try to figure out the line where he became self-aware.
Well,
'Cause maybe it happened before this. Possibly.
yeah, we'll see. His name's Gregory Hatanaka.
Oh, so it's not the same. Is it the same guy that made Samurai Cop?
No, he's dead.
He's dead.
Okay.
He passed away.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's the difference, too.
Yeah. It's always too soon.
Yes, that's correct.
It's like if George Lucas died, and then you let the guy who made new Star Trek make new Star... Wait a minute.
Huh?
Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Okay.
I'm just enjoying the thought of George Lucas dying.
a little harsh.
Oh, too soon.
Wow. It's way too soon because it hasn't happened
yet.
How can it be too soon if it hasn't? If it happens, like it had to have happened already for it to be too soon.
No.
It's totes inappropriate. How about that?
What the fuck did you say?
Do we have an email?
We do have one.
Okay.
If you guys don't have anything else to talk about.
Nope, we're good.
A little bird told me that a heron may have sent us an email. This little bird.
Now we have a leg to stand on.
You know what this is? It's a flock of these.
So, Steve like the bird says, "Hey, BMFcast. It's Steve like the bird, squawk and such. My reaction to Chuck calling me what a 40-year-old man writes as a teenager because that's what he wants a teenager to be," end quote. That is the most apt description of me ever. Why Chuck is the first to crack the code, I have no idea. No one seems to realize I'm the Highlander. Yes, Chuck, I am the only one who gives a shit about anything before my time, and it's quite disappointing.
He's got all the Quaaludes?
I'm pretty sure most kids in my school haven't seen a movie before 1975. Maybe The Wizard of Oz, maybe. I know a ton of kids who haven't seen that either. I know for a fact that most haven't seen a black and white movie, probably just because it's in black and white. Last Halloween, one of my teachers showed us the original Night of the Living Dead, one of my favorites, and the moans from the back of the room because it's old and has no color were horrifying to me. I always have to put old movies like this to kids my age. Yes, it's old, and the pacing is slower, and the acting can be hokey at times, but it's like broccoli. If you don't try it, you don't know if you like it. I don't know if broccoli is the best way to sell it, but
why
still.
wouldn't use broccoli?
Yeah. Use like a fine cheese.
Yeah.
Be like, have you tried brie?
Stilton.
Yeah.
Use it
Brie
like-
sounds nasty.
use it
and
like-
it smells weird.
Use
but
it more
brie's
like
pretty
beer.
freaking good.
You know, the first time you ever had beer, you were like, what the fuck? Why would people drink this?
Yeah.
And then like you had a few more sips and you're like,
Because it gets you fucked up.
and then you got drunk and you're
no.
like, fuck yeah.
And eventually you hit a point where you're
Beer.
like, this beer tastes pretty fucking good. I
want-
enjoy beer.
I don't want Steve using that that example.
Don't use that example, Steve.
I'm
Beer is bad. 21 means 21.
I'm going back to a fine cheese. All right.
All right,
It may
cheese.
smell funny,
Yeah.
but you know what? It probably tastes pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He says, anyway, the fact is, no one is
heroin.
exposing them to these movies. How many kids in my school watch Turner Classic Movies? The answer, 1, and it's me. I mentioned last week that I watch American Graffiti once a year. This year I watch it with my friend Kelly. And not only had she never
how'd
seen
that
it,
work?
she had never heard of it. This weekend I saw both Forrest Gump and Ghostbusters in the theater because they were both re-released, and she saw Ghostbusters for the first time. Every time someone jokingly mentions spoiler alert, I always chime in, Rosebud is the sled. They'll look at me befuddled, and I'll reply, Citizen Kane, it's in the school library. That's the sad part. We have all these classics in the library, and no one is checking them out. Most have dust on them. Casablanca, Citizen Kane, Dr. Strangelove, Streetcar Named Desire, etc. They haven't been touched in years. You're making me weep for the future here, Steve.
Making
Just
me
so you
wish
know.
I had that shit in my school.
Yeah, I know. Our school sucked back then.
We had Waldo books and like Charlotte, Emily Bronte.
Charlotte Emily Bronte.
My library played Home Alone on a loop for like a month and a half around Christmas every year.
Sweet, I'd have been right there.
Yeah, I was too. It was awesome. But anyway, I've tried multiple times to start a club multiple times. Whoa.
What?
There's copy and paste issue. Sorry. I've tried multiple times to start a club. The school board says it's not interactive enough. Well, how the fuck else are they going to see these? The parents aren't showing them to the kids. Neither are the teachers. This is part of our culture, and they've never even heard of them. The average 17-year-old won't stumble upon Throne of Blood or the films of Chaplin or the Marx Brothers. They have to be exposed. Even BJ hadn't seen Casablanca until this year, but he knew it was important. I'm sorry for the rant, but Chuck, it's not only the kids' fault they don't give a shit about things before their time. Society isn't supporting the shit before their time. They assume that's old, you won't like that, when the truth is, we probably will. Crash and burn, Steve like the bird out, sent via Pony Express.
Not interactive
Well, I'm
enough.
Pony
Fuck your
impressed.
teachers. I mean, not literally, because, just
Yeah.
you have a discussion
Almost there.
afterwards.
Yeah, you have to have a discussion. Maybe, I don't know, pizza.
Or here's how. All right.
Wait,
Let
no,
me help you. Let me help you because I've been a member of a film society where we went to and watched movies. You meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Tuesday, you watch the movie. On Thursday, you come back and discuss the movie because you also have time to organize your thoughts. Mm-hmm. Because
Fair enough.
because no one wants to commit that much time, especially when you watch something long. Should you get to something like Gone with the Wind where you're talking 4 hours, no one wants to sit there for 4 hours and listen to the discussion. Don't do that one, probably ever. But I'm saying, some of the longer movies, you don't necessarily want to watch a movie and then people be like, ugh, I sit here and talk too now.
I think I want to blame
Canada.
Cable networks and stuff, and I mean, like the pay TV channels and stuff like that. They don't have older movies in the rotation at all. Like I go through the cable guide every month, like looking for stuff to DVR, stuff I've missed, and stuff like that. And it's a trend. I mean, all of this, even like the ones that they're supposed to be like these niche, these, this is the classics, this is the '90s action, and everything. It's the same crap over and over again. There are these movies that I've been looking at on Blu-ray for the Halloween thing, and they're all like from the '80s and '90s, and none of them are ever on cable.
Yeah.
So they're not even out there. There's no more video stores. Redbox doesn't have shit. And cable is just showing the same, like, New Year's Day 50 times a week.
Mm-hmm. And if you do get something like Jaws, they'll have pop-up facts all over it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't get into the intensity of a movie if it's like, the shark was only seen in the last 45, it's like, shut up.
Yeah, it's like...
It's just, it's the money. I mean, the cable channels are not, like, Turner Classic Movies isn't about, like... teaching people about the classics. It's about getting a few dollars here and there,
right,
and getting movies cheap.
And the sad thing,
and
too...
playing them 100,000 fucking times.
The sad thing, too, is this isn't a new problem. Because back in the early 90s, they had colorization of black and white movies that they wanted to try.
Ted Turner again.
Yeah, where it was, we're going to give you a weird pastel-y colorized version of It's a Wonderful Life and Casablanca and all that, and they looked... terrible.
Sure, they did.
And everyone who liked films was like, no, fuck this. If you can't watch something in black and white, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like anyone who hates black and white movies, I want to show them The Man Who Wasn't There.
Sure.
Coen Brothers. And go, this is black and white. This was made in 2001, and it looks fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, it is some of the best cinematography you'll ever see because they did it in black and white.
You have to try harder with black and white, I think. So,
well, and I mean,
you try harder, but you get amazing results.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even notice after like 2 or 3 minutes of watching black and white. It doesn't even occur to me anymore.
Well, when you're using you're using good techniques, good film, or high quality digital.
Yeah.
Digital recording. You get the detail and the nuance of shade that would otherwise be replaced with somewhat distracting color. Mm-hmm.
I don't even think, though, we're fighting the right battle anymore. I don't even think it's like, oh, kids aren't watching the black and white classics. I don't think kids are watching anything released before 1995.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We have at least 50 years of color classics that you can introduce to people, and there's plenty to be seen there. You don't necessarily have to go straight to, don't get me wrong, there are legitimate must-see classics in the black and white era.
Absolutely. But I'm saying we're at a point now to where, like, before their lifetime is when kids aren't watching anything. Whereas before, it would, like, stuff would come on TV, and if it was in color, kids would watch it. Their cutoff point was black and white. Now the cutoff point seems to be the year of their birth. And if it has music in it that their parents like. If it doesn't have robots fucking or, or, they won't watch it. And I don't understand when that break happened, because some of the greatest movies that are still coming out aren't like the MTV cut type things. That was sort of a period of time that came and went. So I don't understand what the look of a 1993 movie is to where someone will look at it and go, ew.
Well, okay, so I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but I'm going to go back to the broccoli analogy for a second.
Okay. Go for it. Make it work.
Look, broccoli, I don't care what anybody says. Broccoli's kind of nasty, but we all know that.
Shut up, broccoli's good.
We all know that it's good for you. It's not the best thing. It's not the most pleasurable thing on the earth to eat.
You were correct about that. It is not.
That's why we were.
Look,
schism.
We were trying to.
Are we pro broccoli over here?
We were trying to stay away from the broccoli, but my point is that the more you try to force something on somebody, the less they're going to want it, no matter how good or good for you it is. Some people you just have to fucking let go. You have to be like, you know what? If you get here, great. If not, you have to take. You can't try to force feed somebody good things, or they will reject them, and then it's a lost cause. You sneak in something like. I remember a conversation that I had with someone who was
sneak in some broccoli under a pile of cheese.
Right. Yeah, exactly. If you want kids to learn how to start eating broccoli, you put the cheese whiz on it, and then eventually you put a little bit less and a little bit less, and be like, fucking eat your broccoli. It's there, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing that I was trying to get at with the cable thing, is that you're showing all these 2007 and beyond movies. Sneak a 1990 movie in there
Sure.
that has people in it they will recognize and isn't total garbage.
Yeah.
And you might... some kids will still just sit there and turn it on and just whatever's on, that's what they're staring at. So if you can sneak an older movie in there that someone will watch...
Oh, I go back to this conversation. Like, some people are just a lost fucking cause. You just have to give up and say, you know what? You're a moron, and you're never, ever probably going to get this, no matter what I try to do. And I go back to this conversation where, granted, this was some time ago, and it was the 90s. Someone actually trying to blatantly look at me in the face and say, there was no good music before 1990. And, like... And I was like...
That's obviously true.
And I was trying to explain to them, it was like... like they were actually trying to tell me how Oasis was good, but the Beatles were terrible. And I'm like, there isn't one without the other.
Yeah.
One is the other.
Yeah.
You know, like one
Oasis
wants
is
to
the
be
best Beatles cover band I've ever heard.
one wants to be the other. You know, like. You know,
Yeah.
even if you went and talked, I was like, even if you went and talked to these people, they would list all of their musical influence being, you know,
Yep.
the Beatles and Lead Belly and all of these classic
Saying there's
things.
any cutoff either way, you
Yeah.
know, like it's saying there's nothing good since 1990
Yeah.
is just as bad.
That is
I,
also true.
I understand.
Sure.
So I'm
But,
just saying,
yeah.
like, you know, if someone
Some
can't
people-
understand where something, like, to me, it's always, we're all people. We watch how it's made. We want to know, like, this is a thing that I enjoy. I'm curious how it's made. Well, the same is true for the history of cinema. If if you want to see how you got to the Avengers or Pacific Rim, there's 50 years of movies that led to that.
Yep.
That
And-
film technique, that film style,
Yeah.
and then everything that they're like homaging and understanding how we got there.
Yeah.
The one thing
100 years almost, really.
Yep.
that I want to
Actually, more than that.
impress upon our listeners is that, like, as bad movie parents, you must like, this is your job, is to, if you care about cinema, if you care about films, you don't need to force your children to watch these things, but you need to show your children the joy of these movies. And because cable's not going to do it, their friends aren't going to do it, drugs aren't going to do it. It's going to be, you know, have a good relationship with your kids and show them the joy that is movies. And, you know, if you can keep doing this, eventually maybe we'll, you know,
Save ourselves.
yeah.
Turn humanity around.
Yeah, basically. I mean, there's still good movies being made.
Yeah.
Gravity, fucking fantastic. I don't think there will be a point where there are bad movies being made. Just like there's good music being made now. It's not like not everything that comes out.
The opposite side of that is I don't ever want to be that guy that one day would be like, there's nothing good anymore. That is the other polar opposite of that is the polar opposite of the there was no good time for this before this. I don't want to be there. There's nothing good now.
Yeah, it's generally a perspective thing, but it is important that you introduce, if you care about quality films and preserving them and preserving the history and carrying that on, then you just have to make sure that you share it with the people that you love, your children or your friends or your loved ones or your great aunt who's kind of weird,
Or your
whatever.
children's friends, your friends' children's, whatever.
Whatever.
Whoever
Yeah.
will be receptive to this.
And don't give up if they don't like something at first. Like if you show them The Third Man and they're like, no, this wasn't my thing. You know, it's okay. It's okay to show them Casablanca. Then it's okay to show them something different.
Right.
Yeah.
And keep trying that stuff because
And it may be like we said with the broccoli and cheese analogy. Use, start on the easy stuff, or start with good movies like we said from the 90s and work your way back. Good movies from the 80s, 70s, 60s. There are many ways to do it. I will come up with dozens of them if you let me talk long enough. But yeah, just make sure to do it.
Yeah.
But we
And
appreciate
don't give up on the film club.
Yeah. Good email, Steve. Like the bird, Heron. Do it anyway, Gorilla Movie Club.
Yeah.
Just show up
No, seriously.
suddenly, set up a
Yeah.
projector.
No,
I'm here.
Go to your local library. They can't say no. It's a public space. They have to allow for things like this. You can petition that you want to have a facility and time involved, but you sign up for it and they have to. It's public property.
Yep.
It's called public forums.
And
Amendment.
don't charge.
First Amendment. Yeah, you can't charge.
Or you can't use the DVDs.
Right.
Technically.
You could collect dues, right? Yeah, you could collect dues for the club to be able to afford,
yes, you can.
equipments.
It's a slippery slope when you get into movies, but
As long as you're not receiving money for the showing. If you have dues every year,
Yeah, but
You can
for
sell
club.
snacks.
Yes.
For,
club fees. I mean,
you can't
you
sell
just
snacks.
Steve like the bird. You're clever.
We're not
trying to break the
I'm not
law.
trying to turn this into fucking capitalism. I'm saying go to your
Just
local
sell some
library.
puns and figure it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your school will probably let you if you. I mean, what are they going to do? Say no, you can't use a classroom again? Probably. I mean, I don't know. You might not go to a public school, but if it's a public school, it's a public fucking school.
Yeah. Fuck the school. Go to the
No.
public library.
Yeah,
Fuck the police.
do it at your house.
Hang out with some homeless
Start
people
small.
on the internet computers and
Start small. Ask your mom if you can use
And
the
invite
living
some
room or
people,
something. Whatever.
yeah.
Never. Don't give up. Never give up.
Or
Never
talk to your local
like grab
cool-
Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
Start this film club.
You've got. I'm sure there's like a cool cinema nearby.
Maybe. Not
Just
it's
be
not
like,
always true.
hey, we want a movie. We want a movie
Yeah,
club.
that's it.
Kids movie club.
Hey, what if they want to join our movie club?
Well, they're in the right place
What place is that?
on the internet.
Cool.
The best part of the internet to be for our cool movie club, coolmovieclub.com, is bmfcast.com. You can send emails to bmf@bmfcast.com. While you're on the website, take a look at the right-hand side. It's got a bunch of buttons and stuff. It's got a little Amazon search box, which will save you time in that you don't have to go directly to Amazon. You can just type your search there, click a button, and when you buy something, we get paid. A small portion.
What?
Call our dues. Our,
yeah.
our club dues.
Yeah, it's our club dues.
Yeah.
But it doesn't cost you anything extra.
No,
That's
it doesn't.
that's the beauty part, Rich. So, if you want to do a slightly different method of contacting us and get your voice onto the podcast along with our lovely, silky, golden voices, give us a call at 910-5-JOCKS-BMF, 910-556-9263. Leave a message on the Garfield phone. It's the most important thing you can ever do.
Except for maybe starting a film club.
Nope.
Yeah,
More
okay.
important than that.
All right. All right. That'll wrap it up, I think.
I think so.
Yes.
Sounds good.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out. See you next time, motherfuckers.
So mean. What did they ever do to you?
Coolfilmclub.com is available.
Cool.
Film Club.
.tumblr.filmclub.
Cool Film Club. Yeah. Ooh, cool Film
Cool
Club.
film.
Cool Film
Cool
Club.
Film.
You can also buy coolfilmclub.club.
Can you
How about coolfilm.club?
Club.
Chuck, check it. Check it down.
Jesus, get it, Chuck, get it.
Take us
It's live. It's live. We gotta.
It's already
great.
taken. It's already taken.
Shit.
Hey, there's only 5 people left in here. Don't register that.
Coolfilm.club is available.
Yeah.
Get it, get it, get it.
What am I going to do with it?
Just redirect it to BMFcast.
How much is it?
That's all.
Do you know how many domains I've bought to redirect to BMFcast?
10, 20?
Bad movie hipsters. Just
You've
because
bought
we
a bunch?
say a thing, I'm like, yeah, $15 for that joke. That's great. And then what good does it do? None.
Give me a fucking list. I will read that. I'll use a different one every week.
Yeah, we gotta
Give me a
renew
list
them
of
each
them.
year, too.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Then after a
this
year, I
lasts
feel guilty.
longer than time. I don't.
Yeah, and
Yep.
I've had, what is it? Bad movie Friends. I use fucking bad movie Friends.
still
'cause
have
people
that
can't get it right. Yeah, because I renew it every year. Fucking A, people. Fiends.
Jesus.
We're friends.
I'm gonna start another Tumblr blog.
Oh, great.
You do that.
I just do this because I'm an
How about
asshole.
you just like put some content on the one?
Yeah.
no,
Because
no.
I'm tired of following all your great Tumblr blogs and then you don't post anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is going to be the one. The coolfilmclub.tumblr.com. This is going to be fucking amazing.
What's the natural something? Don't you?
Oh, floppy naturals.
Yeah, floppy naturals.
Yeah, I still
That was
got
the
floppy naturals.
one I was really looking forward to. Floppy
Let's see.
Natural. Flabby Gash.
Ah, fucking-
I don't think he has
Tumblr.com.
that one. Do you?
Somebody
I
does.
have throw all the rock lords in the Tumblr in the Throw all the rock lords in the .tumblr.com.
That was a good one.
Thanks, GoBots.
Yeah.
Nuclear vaginas.
From a movie we don't even remember.
Hot chicks on Facebook.
How many do you have?
That is
Got a lot.
that is money right there. If you
Oh yeah, I know.
all you have to
Hot
do is just
chicks on Facebook.
I know. That's why I grabbed it because it's haha. Floppy naturals.
Yeah.
Blog my knob.
I don't remember that one.
Big giant wet hooters.
Sure.
Bad movie hipsters.
Yes.
Firehouse Tumblr. Yo dog them wheels too big.
I remember that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's Yo dogs them wheels don't fit.
Totally different.
I have contributing to chicks tumblers. And meat tub.
meat tub. Can I have admin rights to that?
That's as good a place as any. Meat tub.
Meat
Film
tub.
Club.
Good night,
I
everybody.
love how we've got all these long names with all these involved stuff.
Meat
and then
tub.
Meat tub. Meattub.tumblr.com.
Making
So-
new tumblers on tumblr.tumblr.com.
Fucking
Meat tub.
meat tub.
So I'll run this by you, but
Fucking meat tub.
Coolfilmclub.tumblr.com is now mine.
Cool.
good job. The whole time we were watching the movie, tonight, Gene Simmons' girlfriend, I kept wanting to call her Amanda Pita.
Yeah, she was kind of minipedish.
I get it.
Yeah, I didn't put it in there because
Amanda Pita.
yeah, borderline.
Dunkin' Donuts recently returned to California after decades without a fucking donut in the state.
What? They had no donuts in California?
What about that place with the big donut sign? It's in
No
Independence Day.
donuts.
All right.
No nuts.
Yeah,
So,
apparently there was like a 3-hour line for fucking Dunkin' Donuts, but the Krispy Kreme across the street was fucking wide open.
I would like to point out
Because
the-
their coffee's terrible at Krispy Kreme.
I would like to
The
point out the
donuts
fact
are
that
awesome.
I reused the line that I, for some reason, still remember to this day.
Yes.
When in the most proper context I've ever actually used it, is the recurring line from the movie Party Girl, starring Parker Posey. When they walked in, when the FBI guy walked into the falafel shop, is I have a falafel with hot sauce, a side order, a baba ganoush, and a seltzer.
Yes. You're the only one who knows that.
I know.
What the what?
are.
What?
You're like Molly
All right.
Shannon now.
I gotta get out of here.
Well, let's
Good
get out
night,
of here, shall we?
everyone.
We
Good
have
night.
to get out of here. Do we
I'm
have to-
Harlow.
I
We
do.
gotta get out of here. Good night.
I gotta get out of here.